Won't you come and see the evil chocolate cookie and me? We're playing games, having so much fun, learning stuff till the day is done. Sweet and savory, that's our side. Laughing and learning, mile after mile. YouTube's our playground, gotta do it right. Trying not to get flagged every day and night. In the pixelated realm, we make our stand, facing foes, conquering the land. With controllers in hand and skills inside, gaming adventures every day and night. Sweet and savory, that's our side. Laughing and learning, mile after mile. YouTube's our playground, gotta do it right. Trying not to get flagged every day and night. Through virtual worlds, we navigate epic battles. No time to hesitate. Together we rise against the tide. In the gaming universe, side by side. New levels, challenges unfold. Stories untold, in pixels bold. With a quest for glory and high scores to chase. Gaming passion, every embrace. That's our side. Laughing and learning, oh, after mile. YouTube's our playground, gotta do it right. Trying not to get flagged every day and night. So join the adventure, hit subscribe. In this gaming world we'll thrive. The evil chocolate cookie, on this journey we embark. Let's play, let the gaming magic spark.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, welcome to Thursday. I apologize for being a couple minutes late. Let's just say my Amazon Echo refused to pay attention for several minutes this morning, and I had to Hello. They'll be able to hear your chat coming in just a minute. I just wanted to apologize because my Amazon Echo refused to listen to me while I was trying to get my trivia done, and I just had to spend several minutes yelling at it because it kept closing the skill, and I'm like, are you serious right now? And then I had to go do human things, and by the time I got back in here and started getting everything set up, it was like after 12:30, so yeah, apologies for being late. That plus the fact that PhoneLink wanted to be a little bit of a douchebag and not want to set up early enough. You'll understand why we need PhoneLink here in just a minute. Our guest will be joining us momentarily, just as soon as I get, things. But they've asked me to do housekeeping first. I'm not going to reveal who it is until they get up here, because, yeah. Hello. I'm good. Just basic rules as to what's happening today. You can ask just about any question. It doesn't have to be YouTube related. It can be, anything. Just please keep it appropriate. Don't spam, don't troll. If you want to be silly, that's one thing, but repeatedly doing stupid crap is a totally different story. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but you never know who's going to come in. So, yeah. But yeah, just behave. Don't be a Pierre. We don't need Pierres here. So, yeah. Also, just a reminder, next week is a little weird. I'm probably going to end up putting it to a poll later on one of your suggestions on what we do next week, because next week is Thanksgiving and then Liam has his marathon that weekend, so we won't be here Thursday or Sunday. So we've got to figure out how to, fill that time. So yeah, we'll manage it somehow or other. And I can't do Friday either because of the aforesaid marathon. So, yeah. Yeah, Tuesday will be fine. Tuesday isn't the problem. But I will put it to a poll for you guys later. So be keeping an eye out for that on the community tab. I don't have any food.
Not
Johnny,
checked.
also, I'm looking to get my hands on a 2020 Intel MacBook Pro with 16 GB of RAM, 512 GB of storage and an i5 processor. Is that what you use?
No.
Always duck. No ducking.
I don't do the Mac thing anymore. I quit the Mac thing in March. I still have one over here, but that's just because it's so broken, I don't know what to do with it.
Positive vibes. Hey awesome people.
Hello!
Phone. Meet Okra with. Your meeting is safe. Clickable copy link. Someone wants to join this call. Use people to admit or deny. Your meeting is safe. Clickable. Meet. Or share this. Add.
Why it's
Close.
Blind World.
Heading level
Can I
2
eat
your meeting's
something?
ready. Heading
Such
level
as an
2 your
evil
meeting's
chocolate
ready.
cookie?
Close. Unknown. Collapsed pin.
No eating evil chocolate cookies.
Blank. Clickable audio settings. Turn off mic. Video setting. Turn off cam. Turn on captions. Not. Turn on. Send a react. Present now. Raise hand. Control. More options. Leave call. Meeting details not people not pressed. Pressed. Add people. Search for people. Heading level 3 waiting to join. Expanded heading level 3 1.
Alright, 1 second.
OB. Mute desktop audio not checked. Not checked.
Alright,
Meet phone link column 3 OBS 3.
there we go.
Phone link meet Okra meet collapsed sub meeting host. Caitlin U. Out of list out of region expanded heading level 3 2. Expanded heading level 3 contributors. Heading level 3 in meeting. Search for people. Add close. Heading level 2. Not pressed chat with everyone. Not pressed activities.
If you're talking to me, I can't hear you.
Not pressed
Nope, I
host
wasn't.
control.
I was hearing myself double, so I had to close YouTube. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
It's like, why am I hearing myself twice? Oh, that's why. And then finally, almost closed Meet, and would have had to go through and yeah, I know. I was like, nope, not doing that.
So yeah, you guys just behave yourselves. You can ask anything that isn't like totally inappropriate. If you're inappropriate, I may have to put you in timeout, or one of our moderators will have to put you in timeout, or someone will put you in timeout. So don't get
Why
yourself
it's Blind
in
World.
timeout.
Possibly Brad
Hello,
Pitt,
other
we never
Earthling.
know. Yeah. And then obviously personal info like phone numbers, addresses, things like that. Don't, you know.
Yeah, that's Nunya
That's
business.
obvious. That should be obvious. But like you said earlier, half the stuff you just said should be obvious.
It should be, yes, but this is the internet, so.
Yes. You're gonna have to relay chat because I can't see it. I don't have the thing open. So.
Okay.
Typically I do, but again, don't want to hear myself double.
Yeah, I mean, you could always pause it, but.
Yeah, but then the chat doesn't catch up half the time.
True. And I don't see a way of being able to pipe the reader through without blowing up my audio settings, so.
Yeah. I don't know if screen sharing probably wouldn't do very much good because it's not a Google Chrome tab, and usually the only way that screen share audio comes through is if it's a Chrome tab or a Firefox tab or whatever browser you're using.
Oh, now that I did not know, so that's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I have had trouble screen sharing Windows, so it only usually, like visually, if I were to screen share something from, let's say, Word, it would work. But if it was something like your thing, then it wouldn't. But if it's a Chrome tab, so like I would do movie nights with
Positive
people, and we would
vibes.
do
I will be back
Disney
in a
Plus
bit,
in
awesome
one
one.
tab and then the Google Meet in the other, and it would screen share just fine. Of course, my latency was terrible with my internet, but that's the only thing I've ever found that actually worked properly.
Interesting.
Because there's no sound, I guess. I don't know.
Could be different on the phone too. There was one time I was helping someone out, and we
I've
had
never
a screen share
on the phone.
and the only thing it blacked out were passwords because I had to show them something in Google Play, and as luck would have it, guess what it asked for?
Of course. Sometimes you're lucky and you get to just click the button that says sign in with Google, and then you can just click your account and you don't have to enter passwords, but half the time it's like, nope, let's put in all of your personal information.
Yeah, fortunately it blacks it out when it does that, so.
Okay, now we're hearing double again. Okay. Somebody will be back soon. And the same chat that I saw at the beginning. So no one has really said anything since.
Yeah, well, we're just getting started, so.
True.
And you know how YouTube is about not sending
Why it's
notifications.
Blind World, may I ask?
Yeah,
if I have a question for that person, how can I address them? Because I know we call you Cookie.
Waiting for it because I knew it wasn't going to cooperate.
Yeah, that's a good question, because personal information rule obviously applies here.
Let's see. Hang on. Call me by name. My name is Julia. I'm fine with that. Sorry, it took me a second. I was walking up the stairs and looking at my phone, and the same rule as a sighted person, you don't look at your phone and walk.
Yeah,
because it doesn't usually go very well.
No.
And I have ran into enough walls. I've only lived here 3 weeks, but like I know the layout of the house well enough that, I don't, I know where everything is, but the walls don't know how to get out of my way.
PM.
So, have to keep that in mind. Plus, my name is right on the thing, so if I preferred to be addressed by something else...
Good point.
In your hole.
Good point.
So, yeah. Oh, let's see here. Okay, nothing new.
I'll tell you something else that you don't routinely do is try
Why
to...
it's Blind World, Cookie, do you like sugar candies?
I have met very few candies I don't like. I think there was like one candy one time. It was some kind of Japanese candy, and it literally tasted like cardboard. One of the churches I used to go to, there was this woman there that was originally from Japan, sweetest thing on the planet. And she sent over some candy one time, and I'm not going to tell her this, but it was disgusting. Like, it was like, imagine chewing on crunchy cardboard.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Half my house actually judges me because I can put away an entire container of circus peanuts in like one day.
Why it's Blind
that's
World,
not my
the
cup
only
of tea,
candy
but
I do not like is
certainly put
Twizzlers.
away containers of other things that should last me a month.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I've got a box of chocolate-covered cherries over there right now, and I think there might be 2 left in it. If that.
When did you get it?
Last night.
Oh my god. You're terrible. Well, I would do the same thing, so.
Yeah, like,
also, I love that email sound. Where did you get it?
It's been around forever, but this copy...
I know, you've had it for the last 10 years. I went back and watched a bunch of your old videos when we first met, and I was like, oh my god, you've had that forever.
Yeah, I don't know where it was originally found. My mother found it, and then I asked for it, and it's on Zedge, but Zedge and screen readers, especially on Android,
I've tried.
do not play nice.
iPhone and Android, they're terrible.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get the website to work. Shut up, email. We're busy.
Now I noticed you've got that one and you've got the real sing-songy one. Are they to differentiate between
Yes.
whatever?
Yeah, they're for
Okay.
different accounts.
Because I've got 2 emails as well, and they're all just the same. It's just the old AOL, you've got mail, because it was
Oh,
the
I
only
have
thing I
that
could
too.
find.
Uh-oh.
It's like my favorite thing in the world. Julia triggered the email sound. Yeah, probably.
Wyatt's Blind World. LOL. Julia triggered the email sound. Alec Balaberta. Well, meow
Lizards
meow
are
bite a long
wonderful.
string.
I think that was finished that in 2 or 3 days
Okay.
too.
Nothing we
Checking
should
to
worry
make sure we weren't flagged.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I did trigger the
Mackenzie
email sound.
Parker. Hi, you're good. Who is up here as well?
Let's see.
Hello. Yeah, every time that goes off when we're streaming, I always worry that I get flagged because, I mean, if they can flag me for restarting the computer, they can flag me for anything else. Which, the next time they do it is going to be a problem because I deleted my Twitter account. I want nothing to do with that, I'm gonna watch my language because we might have younger people up here, but normally I would just screw watching the language.
Yeah. You never know with, that, and then you'll definitely get flagged.
Yeah.
Streaming with children without supervision. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm an adult. Where did that come from?
Right?
Blind Warrior Poet. How did you two meet? And do you ever play games together? Wife and I used to play a few mainstream games and MUDs together, and it was the best. But no time now with the new baby. Johnny, you do have an 11-year-old in your live chat,
yeah,
after all.
I deleted my X account ages ago because I never had anything to do with it. Back in the 2020 election, I think it was, my feed was just full of political nonsense, and I was like, I'm not, entertaining this. So I deleted it. Plus, I was sort of like at a point where I was like deleting like 95% of the social media that I had, because half of it I created and then realized
Wyatt's
I didn't
Blind
like,
World.
and
To be honest, I don't give a
anymore.
about
so, like,
the bad
LinkedIn
language.
Is more of a job thing, but I didn't find much use out of that either, so I got rid
Mackenzie
of it.
Parker,
Reddit,
wait, Cookie, is this your girlfriend on stream?
Excuse me, Discord, plenty of things that I don't use anymore because I was tired of my phone pinging off the wall.
Oh, trust me, I get that. And to answer,
you're the only one that can do anything about that, goofball. Leave all the groups you're part of.
I would if I knew how to get out of half of these Discord servers.
How did we meet? We met, a super interesting story, actually. So, we met way back in 2016, through Skype, actually. We were both part of an online choir, that we both left about 2 years later because neither of us could find the time to, keep the commitment. But, yeah, so.
Not like anybody else was particularly committed anyway. Like nobody, when we did show up, nobody else did.
Yeah, it was always just us and like maybe 1 or 2 other people, and we would just like, just talk for the 2 hours that we were supposed to, and then people would try to direct, and they were like, "Oh yeah, go off into your sections." I'm like, I'm in a section full of people who are tone deaf who probably shouldn't even be in here.
Johnny, were you guys part of Sing for Serenity?
Scale, and the girl that I'm singing with isn't even singing the right thing. And I don't think it was intentional, and I'm not usually that picky, but like, gee, you could at least give it a shot.
Yeah.
And not be half an octave lower than you're supposed to be. But yeah, that was ages ago now.
Yeah, and then my section was full of people that never showed up. So.
We, as for the other part of that question about playing games, yes, we have played many games together. We have done plenty of mostly just crazy party challenges. I don't have the means to buy the Manamon games, so we haven't done many of those. We like battles and stuff. Plus, she would beat the snot out of me because I never level. I never take the time to level. I always just like bludgeon through the game, and then by the time I get to, like, let's say Manamon 1, I got to a Rhodium, and my levels were terrible, and I kept losing, and I was like, okay. And then I actually, I made the mistake of going backwards, so I like walked backward through the Shadowland or whatever, and I don't know, I let one of the laser things kill me and then went all the way back to where I had started, which meant that I had lost a bunch of my gold, so I couldn't upgrade any of my equipment. And then had to go all the way back through the death traps to get back to lose again. I'm like, this is insane. And then my save file got lost. So, yeah. And then I started a new save file, didn't touch it for a month, went back and thought, where am I supposed to go now? Because it doesn't have the thing in Paladin where you can, like, hit Q and it'll give you a rundown of your quest of what you're supposed to do. Manamon doesn't do that.
Right.
So I'm like, great, now I'm lost in a place I don't know, you know, what am I supposed to do? Let's see.
At least you didn't get stuck in the middle of Eternity Studio. That would have been even worse.
Yes, Mackenzie, this is her girlfriend. Same for Serenity. Yes, we were.
I couldn't remember the name of it. It's been so long, and they kept changing it. So I'm like, you know what? Forget this.
I don't even remember what it was when we first joined, but I do remember I got a lot of criticism because I had met the person who referred me. I met through I think it was an iMessage, like, random group chat. And she was like, hey, I'm part of a choir for the blind, and, you know, do you want to join? I was like, sure. And all the messages that were coming through my Skype feed that first couple days was like, can she sing? Is this a good idea? I don't know about this. I'm like, okay. And so eventually, like, I was able to, you know, prove myself, and they were fine. But I was still like, geez, you could at least, you know, give me a chance before you start accusing me of not being
right?
able to. Nice to meet you. Me and Cookie have been friends for a while. I know, I've heard a lot about you.
Mackenzie Parker, well, it's nice to meet you. Me and Cookie have been
newer
friends for a while.
pretty much
Johnny,
active
I
every
know
day.
about that choir. There's definitely
Marley
a newer
Russell, never
generation
heard of
that's
her.
pretty much active every day. One of the girls being
yeah,
Marley
there's
Russell.
Definitely a new generation. I follow them on YouTube, or I did, and there's a couple of the OG people, not many. And if any of the and you know, the OGs being obviously Kaylee, the director, and then Jillian Milton was one of the members, who was always very nice, but we never really vibed. And then one of the girls that was supposed to be a singer has been, like, demoted to reading the little scripts that that are before some of the songs.
Wyatt's Blind World. What should I eat?
Again.
You should eat food. That's literally all I can tell you, because I do not know the contents of your kitchen. If I did, that would be major creepy.
I was like,
Mackenzie Parker, did you ever play STW when it was around?
I was like, I just had a bowl of cereal before we started. Thank you very much. But yeah.
Johnny, Wyatt, ask your dad to make you country fried steak.
People are still there, and if they are, then, you know, I never see them. But it's nice that they have given opportunities to people who might not be, like, I don't know, their definition of, like, a good singer. They still give them opportunities to participate. So if they're not singing, then they're, you know, helping edit, or they're,
Wyatt's Blind
you know,
World. OOO
they're
steak is
able
a good option,
to
LOL.
show their strengths in other areas. Steak is wonderful. Never had country fried steak, though. Yes, I did play Survive the Wild, and was not very good at it. And by the time I opened the game, every time, I ended up being severely dehydrated, severely hungry, or something else that took a while to heal from. And then I forgot half the commands.
Wyatt's Blind World. I haven't even had breakfast yet.
We played Crazy Party together, too. For a while, we ran around different servers and different chats and stuff, pretending to be Morgan Le Fay and Merlin.
Oh my god, I missed that so much. That was so
Johnny,
much fun.
Cookie might often play Heart Zone. Do you find yourself ever playing that? And what would you say is the hardest class to surpass by far? I play Tempo, DH sometimes.
I understand Spanish a little bit, but when your entire dialogue is in Spanish, I'm like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
Right?
Oh, thank you, chat, for scrolling all the way to the top. Very helpful.
Of course it does. What do you want, Mastodon? We're busy.
Hearthstone, I don't. Haven't had breakfast. Well, you don't have to. not necessary. And hello to Manny.
Mastodon, shut up!
Huh?
My Mastodon is going ballistic. I inadvertently involved myself in a conversation with a couple of audio people about mixers, and now it's beeping off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Why it's blind world. It's necessary because I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I haven't even had my caffeine yet today. But funny thing is, I grabbed it this morning and brought it back here with me, intending to drink it, but then it was like 39 degrees, and I'm like, you know what, screw this, I'm getting back under the blankets and going to sleep, because it's cold in here.
You let your coffee get cold?
I have done that before, but this time there was a bunch of stuff in front of the coffee pot, so I skipped the coffee.
Oh, what'd you get instead?
I raided the Pepsi container.
Oh.
Most mornings I can get to the coffee pot, but today
Why it's blind world. No caffeine. No, we need caffeine.
I would, except it was like open containers full of drink cans, and I was
Manny
afraid
83816. Cold coffee is bad for you.
Cold coffee is disgusting unless it's, meant to be cold.
Or it's accidentally left sat there for 10 minutes, because my coffee will stay warm because I have at least one cup every day. If I have more than one, I don't react very well. Anyway, but it'll stay warm for the most part, and then about 20-30 minutes later, and I don't know if it's because of the amount of cream that I put in, which is probably more than good sense would suggest, but I hate black coffee. It's disgusting.
Oh gosh, same.
But and another thing I have found since I moved here, and so I try to get up every morning before my Nana goes to work, and
do you guys play Hearthstone?
We never end up
Especially
having breakfast together,
Julia?
because
Cookie is
she always
okay at
leaves
it.
Around 7:15, 7:30, and so, but she makes me coffee before she goes, which is like the sweetest thing ever. But I've noticed that my Keurig is a lot hotter than the coffee pot, because she uses a traditional drip pot, and I don't know. I definitely prefer mine, but she's very picky about what takes up her counter space. And it was so funny. I finally got my stuff in, and
Aloysius
that was the day
Costa,
that
who do we
I
have
almost
here?
tripped
This
up the stairs
guest.
like 3 times. Which
1 p.m.
Don't do that. Don't recommend. Who do you have here? This is her girlfriend, as mentioned about 5 different times, but if you're tuning in just now, then there you go.
Yeah, if you just got here, you wouldn't have, caught that, so all clear.
Johnny, I already said I don't play Hearthstone, sorry.
And Cookie is
Cold
not okay
is
at
bad
Hearthstone.
for you.
Cookie
Why?
totally sucks at it. Because somebody kind of forgets to read the card descriptions, and they'll just play whatever.
Nightbot, want
You
all my
just click
goodies,
random
go to
things. Oh my God, me too. That's how things break. That was my reputation as a kid. It was
http://evilcookies.jc-hosting.me.
always just like push all the buttons till you find out what they do, and then something ends up getting screwed up.
Yeah. That's how I blew up my Windows registry, was pushing buttons.
Did I ever tell you about the one time that I had so when I participated in the Braille Challenge years ago, back in like 2011, I was about 6. And if that gives you any context about how old I am, for all the other people who don't already know, I won one of the first gen
Sports
Victor
commentaries,
and
people.
had it for years. Well, something happened, and something got stuck in the SD card slot.
Oh no!
So I couldn't get it, and then when I got it in, I had to hold it in with a pin. And then when I got it in, somehow I managed to lock the thing.
Johnny, well, that's exactly how I surpassed you with my hand buff Death Knight.
Like test recordings that I had made, because I did I wasn't allowed to have YouTube back then, like at least to upload stuff, and so I did like a fake, impromptu YouTube on the audio recorder on the stream,
Yeah,
and so when I was testing whether the delete function worked, because I figured out how to get it unlocked, I accidentally deleted something that I actually wanted to keep. So that was lovely. But nothing like super important. Now I know to back things up and to let them go to the Google Drive before I delete them from any like cards or flash drives or anything.
Right.
Yeah, but it got stuck.
I
totally
still
got
have
stuck in the thing.
I still have a first generation stream over here just because I can't replace it because the new ones are so expensive.
Oh, it's insane.
Which is irritating me because, I mean, the thing came out in 2007. It's going to stop being compatible with stuff sooner rather than later.
So
Sports commentaries. Who is this?
I was given
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Oh, just Messenger. Nobody important. I was given a first gen stream, so I had the first gen that I won. Then it broke, so I threw it out. And then I got the second, and I don't know if it was during like a fit of rage when somebody was upset with me and threw it, or if like I accidentally did something to it. But the last time I tried to do anything with it, I pulled it out of the case to. Oh, and by the way, spent $75 on a new battery, which is insanely expensive for that kind of thing.
Right.
It could have been a little bit less, but it was more than good sense. Not like you can go to the store and get a $5 box of like AA's.
Manny83816 was wondering who that was as well.
I pulled it out of the case to see what was going on, and the entire like front came off, and all the buttons started to move around. I was like, somebody broke it. I don't know who. Like, yeah, so I had to throw that out too. And so I got another first gen stream, but then I got tired of Tom and Samantha. And I was like, I can't listen to this anymore. Like, it's driving me insane.
Yeah,
and
that's my big problem. That plus the fact that, as I said, it's 17-year-old technology and doesn't want to work with stuff anymore.
Oh my god, everybody keeps saying, who is this?
They do, that's for sure. But, yeah, my two big problems are, the TTS sucks. I despise compact voices. They drive me nuts.
I forgot you had the Trekker Breeze GPS thing.
Yeah, it's still over here too. And funny, it actually works pretty well in this area. Except when it tries to tell me that I'm 145 feet away from my house while I'm sitting in my room.
Exactly. My phone map does the same thing. It's like, your address, 50 feet away. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was 50 feet above my house.
I'm like, what is this? Like a space-time continuum warp or something?
Exactly. I'm like, what is actually happening right now?
Mackenzie Parker, question for you. Are you an Eloquence user? I'm not a huge fan of it, but we'll use it if needed.
The Stream and the Victor Trek were two separate devices. The Trek was just a stream and a GPS combined. Now they have the third gen stream and a new, I forget what it's called.
The Stellar Trek. Friend of mine has one.
It. Yep, it's just the newer it's a standalone GPS, but it's like the Trek, just newer.
Yeah.
$1,200. I was like, oh my god! I was like, I saw
Manny83816. Are you on Discord or something?
I think her name is like
just
Carrie
wondering.
Or something. Carrie on Accessibility, who does a bunch of like she does
I follow
iPhone
her.
and she does iPhone and Android stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
She was a good resource when I swapped for a week. So she did a review on it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And so I looked it up, and it was like $1,200. I was like, oh my god, never mind.
If I'm going to pay $1,200 for a GPS unit, it best know how to drive.
Exactly. I didn't even think about that. Oh my god. Discord, no, we're on Meet. It's a little more secure. I didn't want people hopping up in here and, whatever. So she just sent me the link just
Manny83816, LOL.
Yeah, that's also why we're not using Team
Question
Talk.
for you. Who is you, Mackenzie? Are you asking? I'm assuming you're asking me because Cookie is an Eloquence user. She has Eloquence on her watch, and then obviously Jaws uses Eloquence.
Yeah, well, I have my Jaws settings tweaked. Although if I have to use it on YouTube, I have to change it back. 'Cause normally I keep it set to the Sappy profile so I can use the Microsoft voices, but it interferes.
Why do you have
with
to
the chat
change it
reader.
for purposes of YouTube? Nobody on YouTube is going to arrest you for having the demo version of a $1,000 screen reader.
Well, I don't want to have to restart the computer every 40 minutes. It's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm planning on, when I can afford it, getting one of the annual licenses, because they're like $95 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you get unlimited access, you get a serial number, so I could get the add-ons and scripts that I...
Manny83816, that would just be pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, The one time I did use JAWS up here was the day NVDA muted itself, and I had to do some unorthodox things so I could actually function that day, which were promptly dismantled.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was hideous. Like, somebody's like, here, let me remote in. I'm like, excuse me, how are you
I'm surprised you didn't think of that first.
Well, it had never done that before, and I'm not used to
Did you ever figure out how?
Arinx, kinda annoyed with Suno access with JAWS. It behaves oddly.
It can, yeah. Yeah, Suno and JAWS, it's a little weird. If they'd label their stupid more options button already, I would be a happy human.
Yeah, I haven't done much with Suno, just on my phone, and half the stuff doesn't come out. So, like, when you do your stuff, it comes out with 2 different versions.
Kind of the same
Mine only
way.
comes out with 1. I don't know what, because I don't think I hit the right buttons. I'm just like, write a song about whatever, and then it does it. Or I'll do, like, a randomly generated one, and then I pick a genre or 2, and it doesn't produce all the different versions of each individual genre. It just does one song that incorporates all the drama, all the genres.
Okay, so what I do, I use custom mode, and I will get ChatGPT to write the lyrics, because in my experience, ChatGPT writes better lyrics.
I can't use ChatGPT. If I could speak English, that'd be great. I can't use ChatGPT anymore because both of the emails that I have used to use it have already been used with it, and I've deleted the accounts, and they say, oh, you can't create a new account with the same email. It's like, okay. I'm not creating a third email because I created the accounts, tried them out for a little bit, and then because I'm a freak, if I don't like something, I don't just delete the app. I have to delete the entire account so that it's like I never even existed. But I mean, I did, but like, whatever. So they've both been used. So I don't know, unless I created a third email.
Suno V4 has a better model for lyrics. Go. A lot less neon lights, in the shadows, etc.
There's always, what's that thing? The Copilot for Microsoft, the Bing AI thing. That was like my best friend in college.
Yeah, Copilot, in my experience with creative stuff, it does kind of fall flat sometimes, or it'll straight up refuse to do what you ask it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it apparently does not get that humor exists. Like, if I had asked Copilot to write me that song about how Pierre fell in love with an electric fence, it would have refused to do it.
Yeah, I used Copilot more for informational stuff. And just hoped and prayed it would pass the plagiarism checker, because I was desperate and I was struggling with burnout, like, huge. And so AI was like, how to, and I'm not a proponent of use AI to cheat in school. Like, that's I'm not sitting here going, do that. But like, desperate times call for desperate measures, and I was already failing a class because I was not being accommodated for. It was a technology class, and you'd think I would do really well with that, but half the stuff was drag and drops, and I literally had the first assignment that I opened up popped up with a message that said, this assignment contains material not accessible. You remember I told you about this whole thing?
Yeah.
I was livid because nobody would do anything for it.
Of course!
And so I did the screen share, and the professor was like, oh, I don't see anything wrong. It just says whatever on the I'm like, you don't see the message blaring right in front of my face that says this assignment contains material not accessible to a screen reader? She said, no. I'm like, seriously? It's only a screen reader thing? I tried taking a screenshot on my phone, still, and I used the Be My AI, and it was like, nope, it's plain, it's fine, whatever. I was like, oh my god, nobody believes me. And so by the time I realized I was in the hole, I like using that term now because it's a Jeopardy term and also just fun to use. In the red. But once I realized I was there, it was too late. So I was like, okay, well, too bad. And then the one class I did pass, barely by the seat of my pants. And psychology too, which you would think I would have done really well with, but like, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, external factors definitely come into play a lot of the time, and
and
college
people don't
classes aren't for
acknowledge
everybody.
that. People don't acknowledge that. People are just like, oh, you're lazy, you're distracted, you're, somebody has an influence on you, this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, no, I literally cannot mentally handle it. And my mother was like, oh, well, yeah, we can take less classes. I'm like, no, I need no classes. And so when I moved, it was great because I didn't have to worry about going to school. Plus, once I realized that what I actually wanted to do as like my career aspiration, there were no schools close by because, a little backstory about me for the rest of you. I was born and raised in the state of Maryland, moved to Michigan in January, and now I live in New Jersey. That's all I'm going to say, not anything super personal. Right. But when I lived in Michigan, it was a town very similar to yours, how there everything was like half an hour to an hour away, not much to do, very small population. And so there were no schools. Like the only schools that were really available for what I wanted to do were in Mount Pleasant or Grand Rapids. And it was like nobody could transport because there was only one person that didn't live with us that had a vehicle that could go that far, and she worked. And the car that we had is a 2001 Ford Taurus that had to get taken to the shop, I think 3 different times while I was there. Once the vacuum line was out, so the car rumbled like it was taken off into outer space when it idled. That was awful. And then when it wasn't doing that, I was like, oh my God, this is great. And then just plenty of other things. We had plenty of occasions where we were stranded on the side of the road because the
Mackenzie
car
Parker,
wouldn't start.
sorry guys,
And then we
my
had
connection
to,
keeps
pump
dropping.
the brake and the
I'm
gas
good now.
at the same
Sorry.
time, start the car, and just hope. We had to jump it 3 times too. And the car that we had, the other car that we had that we didn't use because it's a piece of garbage, that was purely used to jump it. It has terrible gas mileage. You got maybe about 5 miles to the gallon, and I don't remember how many gallons it held, but it was at a point where they put more money into the Jeep than was necessary, and it was a point where you had to know when enough was enough. Right. And so the Taurus was what we used, and so when that went up, it was like, well, shit, now we don't have a vehicle to use. But anyway, it was
1:15 p.m.
1:15
go all
p.m.
the way to Grand Rapids. That was way too far. And so I, not having school was great because it gave me a break. And now that I, am living elsewhere, the school's like half an hour away, which is great. I'm like, I'm looking forward to it. I am able to approach it from a different perspective, I guess, because I've had that time off to recoup, I guess, and figure out what it was that I actually wanted to do instead of sticking with a 5-year plan. Because, occasionally I'll go think to myself, like, oh, what if I, just stuck to the 5-year plan, and then the other part of me goes, no, you would have been absolutely miserable. And it's not, it's not worth all that.
Right. You got.
Plus, I'd rather be able to say that I worked for what I got than just have everything handed to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had to be selfish. I had to prioritize my mental health. Like, it was not working for me.
Well, that's important because if you don't prioritize your mental health, you're going to end up in a hole, and it's not going to look pretty.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I'm honestly kind of glad I decided not to go back to school after I finished the first one, because I'd planned on going back to school, and then 2020 happened and everything kind of blew up in our faces.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all online, and they used Blackboard extensively around here. And at the time, I hadn't quit the Mac thing, and boot camp made me want to rip my hair out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had dismantled
remember you
it.
would tell me about all that. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was hideous. Plus the fact that the new Mac OS at the time was full of bugs and I refused to use it. And Safari was just like complaining all the time. And Firefox did not work with VoiceOver.
Did they do a virtual graduation for you?
They did like a drive-through thing, but I just said, you know what, screw this. I'm not dealing with it. I have my degree.
Did they mail your thing to you?
Yeah, they always...
Dale and Mock, I'm back.
They always do that here. When you get a graduation, they give you an empty cover, and then you get your degree a few months later.
Did they do that at your high school, too?
No. In high school,
you got the diploma walking across the stage.
Yeah.
But with the college, they didn't. So you only went 2 years, right?
Well, two and a half to 3. There were I had to go a couple of extra semesters because I refused to take 6 classes in one semester.
Oh, hell no. Nope. I wouldn't either. The most I took was 4 and regretted that too.
Yeah, 4 is the minimum you can take here to get your full financial aid.
Right, that's to be considered a full-time student. That's pretty much universal.
Yeah. So I usually just stuck to the minimum. There were a couple of times when I'd take 5, but here's another way to look at it. The less classes you took, the more money you got back.
Yeah, and so I didn't know about federal aid returning the portion of money they didn't use until I knew somebody else that, well, because now I know that it happened to you, but I mean, I knew that it happened to you because that was how you afforded to get your HomePod when you graduated. That was your little graduation gift to yourself.
Yeah.
Or just before you graduated. And so, like, I knew that it had something to do, but I thought, like, you gave me the impression that it was a scholarship, not federal whatever. But then I met somebody else who had done the same thing, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I got this much money."
Dale and Mock, I just uploaded a new video to YouTube.
Like a tax return? She said, "No, they give you back the money they don't use." I'm like, "Well, what's the point in that? They might as well keep it and add it to your balance, so you don't have to pay so much back when you graduate."
Yeah, they would. Some of it was kind of like a state scholarship thing. I didn't take a whole lot of loans, just one semester, and I still can't pay those back because no job.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know where to find me anymore because by the time we moved, I had gotten locked out of my account.
Of the college website, yeah.
Yeah, they had shut my email down by the time we moved, so I'm like totally locked out.
There was no way to like contact them and be like, "Hey, my address changed."
Yeah, there was like no way to get into anything.
Mhm.
So they can't find me.
The same thing. My email still exists, but like the Outlook thing doesn't. Like I tried to log into it and it was like, "Sorry, we're having a problem." And so I called because I was like briefly debating going back and just doing it online because I liked the LMS that they used. And so I was looking into it and I called them and I was like, "Hey, my phone number is also new and it required 2-factor authentication and wouldn't give me an option to do it with my email." I was like, "Oh, cool." So I have to call IT and be like, "Hey, I need you to, give me like a temporary thing or like change my number in the system, like something." So, I mean, obviously never ended up filing through with that, but it's just crazy all the information that you have to update. And then when I did the federal aid form, because I was anticipating going to college in the area that I was living before, and because they had an online psychology program and it was accelerated, so I would get done a little bit faster. And then I realized I didn't like the sound of acceleration. I was like, I struggled enough with normal. And then when I did the federal aid, my family was uncomfortable providing their information, which I found out later they didn't have to provide. So they changed it in the span of a year. So like the first year I filled it out, my parents had to put in their names, birthdays, social security numbers, email addresses, and then they had to go through and manually input their 2021 tax information, or 2020, one of them, tax information. And then the system realized that there were people who were being fraudulent and not putting in the right information, putting in more than they should to get more aid. I don't know, whatever they were doing to cheat the system. So they now have it set where you just do the name, birthday, and email, and I think phone number too. But I didn't know that because I didn't click that my parents would provide aid. And so I got emails. I'm still getting emails from the federal aid being like, your FAFSA form is incomplete. I'm like, I know, because I don't want to, because I'm not going to college
Get
anymore.
over it. Stop
right, exactly.
emailing me.
There's no unsubscribe option. I'm like, this is annoying. But thankfully, I don't get notified of my emails until I have 10 of them. Especially with the blind ads group, which is the only thing that I get really frequent emails about. I will plug in my phone and just like this happened to me last night, plugged in my phone, turned over, was ready to turn on the TV to watch something before I went to bed, and my phone vibrates. Now, because I have recently joined the wallet phone club, my vibrations on my phone have suddenly been louder, and it's also the material that my nightstand's made of. But I'm like, great, so now I have to check it. Maybe it's something important. It's not. And it's 5 notifications from my email. I'm like, why? Why don't you notify me immediately when these things come through? But of course, at the same time, I'm glad that it doesn't notify me because sometimes people post like 5 things in a row.
Yeah, I mean, prime example that's been irritating me. Would it really be all that hard for Carl Williams to put all of his items in one listing?
Yeah, Barry Carver does the same thing. And they're all air fresheners and perfumes and like whatever else.
Really be that hard to put it all in one listing?
I know the limit is 4 a day, but could you put like all 4 in one, maybe, possibly?
Yeah,
potentially.
And then there's the one that sells jewelry. Thank you for it.
Well, that's what they have rules for. And then people don't follow the rules. And then the list owner is like, dude, people aren't following the rules. And people still don't follow the rules. I'm like, okay.
And then if you sneeze wrong, you get put on moderated status because you've personally offended this guy.
Well, I sneezed wrong because my parents and I both freaked out a little bit. So there's one girl on the list that gets really good reviews. I ordered something from her, and it came late, which nothing wrong with that. In hindsight, I should have asked for the tracking number. And then it came with her husband's name on it because she ran out of stickers with her name on it. I was like, great, that's fine, whatever. Looking back at it now. But freaking out, because my parents were like, who is this person sending you this? I was like, I don't know. So I opened it, and it was a gift for somebody. And so I opened it, realized it was what I had ordered. And I was like, okay, no big deal. But then I wrote on the list, and I was like, this did not go the way that I thought it would. Not necessarily good or bad one way or the other, but like it wasn't what I expected. And it was like, oh my God, you're causing drama. This person is amazing. We've always had good experiences with her. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was a place that I could share that and be like, be on the lookout in case there's a whoops and somebody puts the wrong sticker on or somebody sends something late. Let people know, first of all. Because if I don't have access to transportation, I'm going to let you know that I'm going to be late in shipping your thing out. And if I am delayed at all, I mean, I've sold a couple things.
Yeah.
And it, which, by the way, shipping is more than the freaking profit. It's insane. Half the profit I got went toward spending money on shipping.
That's why I genuinely ask people to help with shipping, because I don't ship a lot of stuff and I don't know how much it's going to cost.
I've had things cost $6, $10, $25. It really depends on what they usually go by the box dimensions and the weight. I think the reason it cost $25 for the one that I sent to a friend of mine that wasn't even part of a sale was like, what's it called? Oh, hello, doggy. I was wondering what that was. But it ended up costing so much because of the box. It was so big. And like yours, when I sent you the Boppets a while ago, it was like $15, $16 just for that. I was like, oh my God. It's because the box was so big. I was like, it's not, because Lord knows they're not heavy.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to have to...
The embarrassment of like the fact that the box had Subway stickers on the side, because they were boxes that a friend of mine would bring home from work, and she would like store them in the closet, and I was using it for something else, and I was like, I'm not paying the postal service $15 for a
Blind
box.
Metal Gamer,
I'm gonna just
hey
use my
Cookie,
own.
what's
and
up?
I said to the lady
I was
when we got
wondering,
there,
are you
like,
using OBS to do your
peel the
streams?
sticker
And
off?
I was wondering, when you do your Sooner upload, are you adding tags to your videos or just using hashtag?
to answer your questions, yes, I do use OBS for streaming. And as for the Suno uploads, I think they watermark them, so that's why I use their videos instead of just downloading the audio and putting like a static image behind it, is so they get credit and they can use their watermark, because I suck at video editing. Okay, it's just Quora. And that sounds like a good time to take a walk over to the nightstand and get my drink, because I haven't had one this morning and my throat is telling me about it. Then again, my medicine, that's one of the side effects. Your mouth feels like the Sahara Desert.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Blind Metal Gamer, I do the same thing, that's why I was wondering about tags as far as OBS, how accessible is it for someone with little vision, and I'm enjoying a Coke Zero.
And if anyone is wondering what is buzzing in the background, that's the heater, because at my last check it was like 40-something degrees and it's cold in here. I'll tell you by far the worst thing I take every day, though, is my multivitamin, because they are disgusting.
Well, I think you're supposed to swallow them, not eat them.
Blind Metal Gamer,
are,
it's gonna be down in the 30s. In fact, we're gonna be under a winter weather advisory starting at 4 p.m.
Like, even the outside has like this coating on it, and you can taste it, and it's horrible.
Do you put the pill in your mouth before you put the liquid in? Because if you do it the other way around, it doesn't taste as bad.
I try to get them as close to the same time as I can, because with these ones I tried both ways, and it's worse than some of the antibiotic capsules, if that tells you anything. Like, ugh.
I think the worst antibiotic capsule I've ever had, not because of the taste, but because of the size. I was very prone to strep throat as a kid. And so they would give me the moxicillin or penicillin or whichever cillin it was, and they're like horse pills. They're huge.
Oh, tell me about it.
I was like, my throat is not that big. What do you want me to do? Like, am I supposed to? And I never cut it in half. I wasn't like, afraid of it. I was like afraid that I was
1:30 p.m.
Especially when I was younger.
And like, especially if your throat hurts and they expect you to swallow half a brick.
Oh
like,
my gosh!
Come on.
Yeah.
Tell you the worst.
What they tell you needed a multivitamin for?
Deficiencies? Not necessarily.
Nightbot,
Well,
want all my goodies? Go to
possibly,
http://evilcookies.jc-hosting.me.
External factors that I'm not sure I'm at liberty to talk about on YouTube, and the lack of contents of the refrigerator half the time. It's just better to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good to have anyway, but
yeah.
I think after I get done with this bottle, I'm going back to Flintstones. If I have to take more than, the recommended dose for a 9-year-old, that's fine. But at least those things don't taste like dirt.
They have the adult, they're not Flintstones, but they're gummy vitamins, and they're formulated for adults.
I may have to get some of those, because these things are disgusting.
I would forget to take that. So like the only supplement that I take is just melatonin at night, because I genuinely can't sleep without it. Not out of dependence, but like I just sleep terribly if I don't. But I remember to take that at night because I know that I need it to sleep. But like in the morning, it's not the first thing I'm thinking of. I think if I did it for a while, it would become a habit. But I think I would have to like set a reminder or something on my phone to know when to do it, because I would just totally forget.
I missed a few while I was on vacation, but that's because the bottle is so big it wouldn't fit in the it wouldn't fit in the bag with my other medicine, so I had to put it in my suitcase, which was consistently in the back of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed several days with that, but apart from the day I ran out of another supplement that they gave me at the pharmacy because my B12 was slightly off. I missed one dose of that because I ran out a day earlier than I was expecting to.
They prescribed you a B12 supplement? That's over the counter. Did they prescribe it so that you don't have to pay for it?
Probably.
I say because that's a common thing, especially for people with like certain types of insurances. If your insurance has zero copay on prescriptions, then a lot of people try to get the. Oh, hello, Echo. I haven't heard that notification sound in ages. I don't get those, except I do. I got one the other day about a severe weather alert that never happened. It says it's going to flood, and it sprinkled.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point I need to replace mine. It's about 3 or 4 years old, and it's struggling with severe technological hearing loss.
Yeah, you've mentioned that. Yeah, but if people try to get the prescription variant of a lot of different over-the-counter stuff just so they don't have to pay for it. Like, I've got a friend of mine who struggles with migraines, and one of the medicines she takes as like an emergency thing is Aleve, which is a over-the-counter, but she gets the naproxen prescription just so she doesn't have to pay for it.
I mean that makes sense. Medicine's not cheap.
No. They prescribed me a
Blind Metal Gamer. I hate those capsules that you have to take the taste chalk.
Lidocaine. Numbing. Lidocaine cream for something I was dealing with that I am definitely not at liberty to talk about on YouTube.
No, I don't think I want to know.
I think you already do. I think I told you. Probably not though. But they gave it to me to numb what was going on so that it wouldn't be quite so irritated. And at first they had a problem with my insurance. They were like, this is not accepted by your insurance. I was like, okay, great. Then what am I supposed to do? Of course, they sorted it out and I didn't have to pay anything because I didn't go and pick it up because I didn't need it. But they sorted it out so I would, if I did pick it up, I wouldn't have had to pay, which was typical for the insurance that I was using. And so they, I said, how much would that be without insurance? They were like $250. I said, what? I said, what? I said, there's no way. I said, I will itch it. I don't care. I will do everything I have to do. I'll sit on my hand. I don't care. I will not touch it. I'm not spending that much money on something to numb it. Of course, like I said, they sorted it out, but I didn't go and pick it up. That pharmacist was so nice. The Walmart people are so nice. They literally were like, they offered me something called Script Talk, which is like they give you a little machine and then they attach their own little like barcode label thing to the medicine. I need
one of those.
And do you get your prescriptions through Walmart or somewhere else?
No, the place I go to has its own pharmacy, and as soon as I can, I'm going to talk to them about getting that.
Yeah, because Walmart has that. I know CVS has it, but theirs is an app.
A lot of the time they will give me, like, all of the bottles they give me will be identical, and I'm like, are you serious right now?
Even the pills are identical. They used to be, like, where all the pills were different shapes and sizes and stuff, and you could tell by looking at it or, like, you know, opening the bottle and going, okay, this is what that's for. You know, then you could tell that way, but now you can't. And then if you try to read it with your phone, the bottle is a cylinder, so it's hard to get your camera to focus.
And then even if
reading
product not recognized.
Words. Yeah, it's like it's reading partial words. I'm like, what does that mean? You're speaking
Blind
another
Metal
language.
Gamer. I use Script Talk and it's amazing. Oh boy. So Cookie, who's the girl in the stream with you?
Oh, here we go. Who's
I'm
the
curious.
Girl in the stream? We have covered this, people. And I know for certain that this person in chat who said Script Talk is amazing, which thank you for the positive feedback. I will make sure if I ever get a prescription again, I will utilize that. But typically I only get prescriptions for like infections. I'm
Blind Metal Gamer.
Healthy,
I use
so
it on my
take
phone.
Anything routinely. Script Talk is on the phone. Okay, I thought it was a specialized machine.
You can do both.
Yes, chalk capsules are disgusting. I much prefer the ones that are like that are actually kind of creepy if you think about it, because they're like they're almost made of plastic, but they're not. And then when you shake it, you can like hear the stuff inside of it. It's really strange. Sometimes if it's underfilled. If it's overfilled, you can't hear it moving because it just goes along.
And then if it's too overfilled, you have the problem of, trying to handle it without making a massive mess.
Right. God forbid you squeeze it too hard and everything just goes everywhere.
Blind Metal Gamer, yeah, you can do both. So Cookie, how accessible was OBS?
On Windows, it's fairly workable.
Mark Miller, yes, but if you have not been watching the stream and you're just tuning in, then that would be a problem.
Yeah. On Windows, it's pretty workable. Like, there's some places that are a little finicky to work with, but stay away from the Mac version. Just, like, don't even touch the Mac version because it's hideous. Which is why I never did streaming on the Mac. But yeah, I quit the Mac thing back in the earlier part of the year, and the only reason I have one around is because it's so broken. There's really nothing to do with it.
Baby, what are you doing? You scared me. I didn't know you was in here. The dog came for a visit. He's very quiet. You would like him. He doesn't bark unless the doorbell rings. Genuinely, that's the only time he ever barks.
That would be a relief to people trying to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning.
2000 Stu, Script Talk sounds like a speech synthesizer from 1995.
Oh my god, it does! That would definitely be a relief when someone comes down the stairs to get a snack at 3 o'clock in the morning while the rest of us are trying to sleep.
Yeah, he genuinely only barks when the doorbell rings, and or if somebody comes in the house that he hasn't seen in a while, or somebody that comes in the house is a stranger. He used to be very wary of men because it was just him and my Nana. Oh, speak of the devil.
A leaf blew past the window, I guess.
Which one is that?
I don't know.
I hear him a lot. You can't tell by the bark?
Not always, because sometimes they try to have a contest of who can get more high-pitched than the other.
Who can bark the loudest? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
So it was just him and my Nana, and I would visit, and my aunt would visit, and so he was just used to women, and so whenever my stepdad would come around, he would like sit there and bark at him for 5 minutes before finally giving him a break. And now I gotta find him because I want to see if I let him out to go to the bathroom. He's got the start of kidney disease, and they have. What are you doing in the laundry room? Oh, he's galloping down the stairs like a little horse. He's so cute. I love him. He's 13.
Wow.
And he has no collar on, so he sneaks up on me. That's how I knew he was in the room, because he was sniffing. Come on. His little pitter patter of his feet. But he's got the start of kidney disease, and so they have him on this new medicine for his liver, which is totally unrelated to his kidneys. They have him on a food for his kidneys, but they've something with the food or the medicine or whatever. But he has to go more frequently than he ever did before. I actually had an accident in the middle of the floor this morning that I happened to step in.
Oh god, I hate that.
Fun.
And like, I have texture problems anyway, so ugh.
If I had a sock on my foot, it would have been worse. I don't mind it so much on my bare foot. It was still gross, but like not intolerable. Like I stood in the same spot till somebody got me a thing to clean my foot.
Danny
so
Yitmeyer, I could never switch back over to Windows. Been using Mac since February of 2008, and my bird here can get pretty loud when he wants to. 2000 Stu, that's 91 in dog years.
So very quiet, no collar, which I don't care for that because, I like to hear when they come. It's nice to hear them jingle around when they're moving, but she thinks it knots his fur the wrong way, so I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, what I don't get, when we were in Utah, we went to visit my sister's best friend, and she's got 3, and every single one of them, without fail, just marches right over and plunks their head into my lap, like, hello, I like you. Like, I've never seen you before in my life, but I like you.
Did you like them back?
Oh, they were adorable. They were big babies.
Oh.
And they were quiet.
I was like, your two are babies too.
Yeah, but mine like to have concerts at 3 a.m.
That's no fun.
Did I ever tell you about the time I had a kitten jump in the bathtub with me?
What's that?
Did I ever tell you about the time I had a kitten jump in the bathtub with me?
Oh my god, no. I thought cats hated water.
Yes, so did I. Well, we used to have a major cat overpopulation problem. We had one cat that got out and had kittens, and then those cats got out and had kittens, and then those cats got out and had kittens.
Why did you have so many? I didn't think y'all were cat people.
Well, the first cat was given
Mark
to
Miller,
us by...
not all of them.
The first cat was given to us by someone who couldn't keep it. And it liked
Danny Ickmeyer, I had that happen with a bird I had.
And then it liked to get out of the house when the door was opened, but it would always come back.
Yeah.
Well, I had gotten sunburned from staying in the pool too long. We'd lost track of the time. Then again, I can get sunburned in a snowstorm, so... I wish I was kidding. And it had gotten to the very obnoxious, intense itching stage. That makes you feel like your nerves are trying to rip themselves to shreds.
I've only ever gotten one sunburn. I don't think it was even that bad. Of course, I put like 10 layers of sunblock on my body, which makes me feel disgusting. So then I go in the pool and wash it off. It's any wonder that it stays on.
So I had jumped into the bathtub to try to alleviate some of the obnoxious itching. Well, we had kittens at the time that were just learning how to climb.
Well, they climb.
They
I've heard they can climb. I mean, the cat I was living with just a few months ago, I mean, he could go from the top of his cat house to the floor in about a second, like jumping, and then he would climb on the table. He would climb. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what superpowers do you possess?
Right?
He was a sweetheart, just very skittish.
Well, here I am
because the dogs would try to chase him.
Yeah, here I am trying to chill out. And they were so small that they could get under our bathroom door because it was one of those that has like a couple of inches worth of gap under it. They
can crawl under things too. They can flatten themselves to like pancakes. Oh my god.
So one of them gets under the bathroom door, climbs up the side of the bathtub.
Blind Metal Gamer, Oreo is sleeping.
And jumps off into the bathwater, and I am just screaming bloody murder because I know cats in water, and I
1:45 p.m.
a mobility lesson the next day, and I did not want to show up with claw marks from head to toe.
It probably fell. I don't think it intentionally was like, ooh, water, because they learn their associations with water as they get older. So it was probably just exploring.
Yeah, well, most of ours were just plain dumb. Like, I think we got the cats with the dumb gene.
You said they all ran away when you moved?
Yeah. Let me tell you how dumb some of them were. One of them decided to take up residence in the refrigerator.
Oh my god. They'll climb anywhere. They don't care if it's 12 degrees.
Blind Metal Gamer, what color was the kitten?
Not for a very long period of time, but until the other dog in her kennel just bark.
Danny Ickmeyer, I had that happen with a bird I had. He'd flown over and landed in the water, lol.
And so I let her out. And then,
Mark Miller, it completely depends. Some cats don't like water, others are like, okay, I'm fine.
And so then my friend got up with her, and she was like, did you know the cat was outside? I was like, no, I had no idea. And he snuck out like 3 other times after out the sliding door onto because I think the dog run was tall enough that he couldn't climb over, but he could dig under because the little dog could dig under too. But yeah, he was a menace. I mean, he snuck out anywhere he could.
Yeah, we had some too that like to launch themselves from the nearest piece of furniture onto our backs. And then just stand there with the claws fully digging into our flesh.
Ouch.
One of them did that to me one time when I had a slight sunburn, and I was so mad. Because my pain tolerance sucks anyway.
Oh, my pain tolerance is terrible.
Yeah, like, I do not like pain, like, at all. Like, if something hurts, somebody's gonna know about it.
Blind Metal Gamer, oh god, oh wow. Did you throw the cat on the floor?
No, someone else had to come get it off because I literally couldn't move. Like, I had stuck my head into the cabinet to get a snack. And, like, the position I was in, I couldn't move or it was going to slide down and do even more damage. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were, like, on the couch or something. Oh, my gosh.
I actually did have one time try to get on my shoulder and slide all the way down.
Ouch.
Very much ouch.
You definitely would have had questions at school then.
Yeah. Fortunately, they knew I had cats.
Blind Metal Gamer, what color was this evil fluffy beast?
I have no clue. It could have been a green Martian
Joshua
cat
Schramm,
for all
hi.
I know. Hello.
Well, what do you have now? 2 dogs and birds?
We have 2 dogs, 2 parakeets, and a guinea pig.
Oh, you do still have the guinea pig.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he died.
No, that was the hamster.
Oh. You liked that little hamster.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was fully grown.
Blind Metal Gamer, thankfully, Oreo just runs away from people and he sleeps most of the day.
Back in 2017, I think, I had one for about 6 months before
Danny
she died.
Ickmeyer, I have a bird here.
She was the sweetest thing. She was so tolerant and gentle, and she, aside from pooping in my hand, which I hated, you know, she didn't really do much damage. She didn't bite. She didn't try to run away, which I think was a huge part of the reason that she passed away so soon. They don't live very long anyway, but I made the mistake of the night I found out she passed away, getting another one, and it was a baby, and proceeded to bite me through the bars of the crate, which hurt. And then it would, I don't remember if it was the little baby one ran on the wheel to a point where I unintentionally killed it. So, like, I'm not like a murderer or anything, just so you know, but, like, I put it in the laundry room, and our laundry room was in the basement, with a concrete floor in, like, November.
Oh.
Danny Ickmeyer, hamsters definitely don't live too long, that's for sure.
And my mother wakes me up the next day, she goes, "You killed another one." I was like, oh my god, but I just didn't want to hear it running anymore. And so I waited another 3 years or so to get another one. And this one was a big guy. And she was annoying. She ran on the wheel, which was usually at night, and it wasn't terrible.
Mark Miller,
I would try to sleep through it. And I had already had 2 other hamsters before that, so I got used to the nocturnal stuff.
Yeah.
And so then she would kick her mulch so violently that little pieces of it, feces included,
oh god,
were strewn all over my desk, which is disgusting.
Joshua
so
Schramm, I used to have 2 cats, like, and my dad had a dog.
Days.
Had to sell the cats cause can't have pets in the house I am in now.
The bottom part, the main part.
Blind Metal Gamer, I had a hamster when I was younger, and every time I pick him up, he would bite me. He was a mean little shit.
Up to the top, that was the lid, so that you could easily get her out and put her in the ball while you were cleaning the cage out. She would take her mulch, shove it up the tube, which, by the way, had lots of little grooves in it, and shove it into the lid. So then we had a lid full of mulch and a tube full of mulch that we had to clean out of the cage every single time. So then we spent money and got her a bigger cage that had 2 levels, which she proceeded to do all of the same things for.
Oh god.
And then died. I was like, thank God. I was like, I'm not for animals dying, but, like, I will never own another rodent. Like, I can't. The hamster was cute. The little one, my first one, was precious.
Joshua Schramm,
but, like,
who is the other person?
No more.
To answer your question, this is my girlfriend that I've been telling you guys about.
Here we go, other person again. Who is the other person? Has that not been
Mark
established?
Miller, you know
Well,
what?
actually,
Just
that
because I
person doesn't
can,
look
if
like
I
they've
say don't bop
chatted
it,
yet
don't
this
bop
stream,
it.
so
I thought we were
they're
clear on
probably
this.
just joining.
Joshua Schramm, awesome.
Yeah, ours was, its name was Crack Rat, so that probably tells you something behavior-wise.
Oh, yeah.
This one liked to follow me into the bathroom when it was cage cleaning time and he would end up in the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would roam all over the house, and I don't know how many times I had company in the bathroom and, like, would not realize it until the ball, like, tapped into my foot.
Dude, they're so quiet.
Mark Miller, are you laughing at what I said?
Yes, I am. That was funny. I'm just so ready for the end of next week so I can put my Christmas tree up because it's that time of year and like...
Blind Metal Gamer, congratulations to you and your girlfriend Cookie. I think you both would love Oreo if you got the chance to meet him.
Thank you.
I don't have a miniature Christmas tree anymore. I had to get rid of it because the legs kept falling off and like wouldn't stay on. The whole stand came apart actually. And then I bought another one and somehow managed to break that
Mark
one
Miller,
too.
she's probably like, what are you laughing
There
at?
was a little skirt thing that I somehow managed to untie that you weren't supposed to untie. It was just a decoration
Joshua
thing
Schramm,
around
how did
the
you guys
bottom
meet?
of the...
Blind
Because the
Metal
first one
Gamer,
I had,
hey
it was
Cookie.
pink,
I was
and
wondering
by
if you
that
could
point I
send
had
me
grown
via
out of
Messenger the
pink, so I was
link
like,
to
I
your
don't
girlfriend's
really
channel
want
so
a
I
pink
can
tree
subscribe
anymore.
it as well.
But I liked the design with 3 legs. The next tree I bought had 3 legs, but no lights. So then, you know, because I like the ones that come with the lights already attached. Because then you don't have to worry about wrapping them yourself.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize I had made a mistake and didn't read the Amazon listing very well. Then I bought one with lights, and the stand was totally different. But it's really annoying because once you zhuzh them up for Christmas, and then you have to put them back in the box, they like don't go back in. You have to like smush it, and then I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. The lights are gonna like fall off. Half the lights are askew anyway. So.
Yeah, mine is one of those that's got like the fake snow stuff all over it, and it doesn't like have like the same kind of base. It's like standing in a little box type thing.
I think the snow type stuff is called flocking.
It's called a mess.
Mark Miller, talk back on. Actually, no,
well, also,
talk back
yes.
off.
It's called a mess when it gets all over your HomePod, and it takes you literally 2 years to get it all off.
Good thing the HomePod's white.
Yeah. I wish it was also out of my floor because I like have nowhere else to put it except in my chair, and I kind of need to use my chair.
What did your sister end up doing with the 2 little ones? Did she use them?
She doesn't have a whole lot of outlet space on her right now, so she will use them when she gets room to plug them in. But yeah, the big one's over here on my floor, and I have stubbed my toe on it I don't know how many times.
As for sending a link to my channel, I have one, but I don't have anything up. We met through Skype.
Yeah, if you want to hear the whole story, this will be archived.
Rewind!
Yeah, this will be archived, so check the archive later.
Yeah. Because I like to talk, but I'm not repeating that whole story again.
Right. Oh god. Speaking of streaming, guys, I gotta tell you about the stream I had. Like, this was embarrassing. Like, I had this dream that I was about
Joshua Schramm, fair.
I had this dream that I was about to do streaming stuff, and like one of the biggest streamers in our community comes over to visit.
Blind Metal Gamer, cool. Congratulations.
For like some inexplicable reason comes over to my house to visit. And wouldn't you know it, I had just taken a shower and forgotten my clothing in the bedroom. So here I am trying to get through the house. without being noticed, and let's just say it backfired big time, and this person was, like, seriously mad at me, and I'm just, like, mortified. And then it jumped straight from that to them helping me fill out community center bundles in Stardew Valley to my alarm going off and me waking up like, what the heck was that?
Right.
And then there was the time when I dreamed I murdered the same person 4 times. And then
Wow.
I was late for school.
You were late for school in real life because of the dream, or in the dream you were late for school?
In the dream. This one was recent.
That was random. You don't even go to school anymore.
Right? Like, some of my dreams are the weirdest stuff.
Blind Metal Gamer, I have a suggestion for a game you might like, Cookie. It's called Mortal Kombat 1. I also recommend The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, all of which are on PC and are family blind playable.
Yeah, I'd like to get my hands on those. It's just, they're ungodly expensive. I'm sure my computer could handle them, but my bank account most definitely can't. Then again, I haven't thrown anything at this computer yet that it couldn't handle, so. Except trying to replace the entire Windows registry. I didn't like that too much.
I was about to say, I'm like, you've blown that computer up at least once.
Yeah, well, I was trying to fix a program that wasn't running, and I thought of the brilliant idea of, like, trying to roll back the registry to, like, an older backup.
Blind Metal Gamer, do you use a capture card? I have them on PS5 and I'm gonna tell you right now. Ghostface is insane. He is dickin' awesome.
No, I do not have a capture card. I don't even have a console. There are consoles in the house, but none of them are mine. Would I love to get a console? Absolutely. Would I know what to do with it if I did? No.
I was about to say, I'm like, half of them aren't even accessible.
The
Xbox has some stuff, but the Switch is terrible.
Yeah.
The only 2 I've ever used.
Mark Miller, quick question. Is that Julia? I am just asking because I don't feel like going back right now.
Yeah.
Blind Metal Gamer, whoops. I was trying to say Ghostface is sick, not dick.
Oh, God.
I saw that.
Blind Metal Gamer, the PS5
Yes, Mark,
is fully
it's me.
accessible. I recommend it.
And I thought my phone was bad.
Mm-hmm. PS5 is accessible. That's cool. I didn't know that.
2
The
p.m.
time is 2 o'clock
What
p.m.
different accessibility features does it have? Because I don't know of many consoles that have a screen reader.
That
Or-
one does.
The PS5 does?
Yeah.
It probably uses a version of something else. Or maybe it's its own proprietary. I don't know.
Nightbot, want all my
I'm not
goodies?
exactly
Go to
sure because I've never really gotten to handle one, but I've seen other people using them.
http://evilcookies.jc-hosting.me.
What consoles are in your house?
Blind Metal Gamer, yeah. And I'm getting a pair of Ray-Ban Meta Smart glasses and I cannot wait. I have a question for your girlfriend. Is she on Facebook by chance?
We do have one in the house, but I'm not exactly allowed to touch it,
Yeah.
if you understand what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of them are in my brother's room. Though he's got a couple. He uses one of them for games and one of them because it's older, exclusively to watch TV on because he kind of misplaced his TV remote.
Oops.
He can have one of the 5 million I've got laying around.
One of the 5 million you got laying around probably is his.
I don't know. He lost it, like, I think shortly after we moved in.
Hmm.
He can have that Chromecast if he really wants something. Like, it's taking up my space.
Yeah, using the
Mark Miller, the
seeing
Switch.
AI
I
and
can
look
actually
out and
play
stuff on your
perfectly
phone to
fine.
read the
What
stuff
I
on the
mostly
screen
do
I've
is
heard
just use
people
the app
doing
on my
that for the
phone if I need to
Switch,
read
but
something.
It seems
Blind
like more
Metal
trouble than
Gamer,
it's worth.
Cookie, you should ask for your own PS5 for Christmas, and a certain member of your household is greedy and selfish, and will not let you touch their
Oh
console.
yeah, greedy and selfish for sure.
Yeah, you don't know the half of it, my friend. You
about
don't
to
know
say,
the
I was like, you
half
do.
of it.
I was like, you have no idea.
Yeah. Ugh. We're
And
not going
good
to...
luck asking for one for Christmas because they're expensive.
Yeah. I don't have anywhere to put
money
one
doesn't grow
anyway
on
because
trees.
they're kind of huge.
True. But money doesn't grow on trees. If you had like an entertainment center instead of your TV being on your dresser, you could do like your TV on the one and then your console underneath of it.
Yeah.
Blind Metal Gamer, if you were at my place, I would let you
limited.
check out the PS5 and play it till your heart content. Because I'm cool like that.
I don't know if you want me handling your gadgets because I have a bad habit of accidentally glitching things.
I thought you were going to say...
The Blind Gamer and Technologies, hi, sorry, I was sleeping for 4 hours.
No, you're fine. Sleep is a good thing.
Mark Miller, how are you, Julia?
Imagine sleeping for 4 hours. That is the
Blind Metal Gamer, I would show you how to work it properly. No worries.
Tell me why I went to bed at 11:30, woke up again at 1:50, responded to 2 text messages, and then went back to sleep and woke up at 6:30.
I've done that.
The Blind Gamer and Technologies, sleepy like the Beebas LOL.
Responses like a smiley face or okay or something because I'm half asleep and I can't think of.
Oh, it's all good.
You know. Or the one time when you asked how I found your channel start back in October 2012. Once I translated your dictation.
Oh, God.
It came out, did you find that? I was like, yeah, I found it. That's why I texted you about it. You're like, no, how did you find it? I was like, oh.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's CSR for you. With the screen reader I'm using, it doesn't play nice with Google's voice typing feature, but it has its own, and it likes to butcher things.
Yeah,
Brad
such
Pitt.
as, I know for a fact you don't have anyone in your family named Natalie. You meant to say naturally, and I was like, oh my God, how did it miscommunicate that?
Angels for Windows.
Yeah. Yep. Prime example. But you asked how I found it, and I said, it's right in the video description, and I meant channel description, and I had to like go back.
Mark Miller, I guess she cannot hear your speech.
After laying in bed contemplating, so I was like, did I say that? And then I had to go back and think.
No, Mark, there's really no way I can pipe the chat reader through, because if I did, it would like blow up my audio settings and
Joshua Schramm, the joys of CSR LOL.
Be a douchebag?
Yeah. As for how I'm doing, I'm fine, thanks.
Oh, but yeah, I still, all the dictation errors, I gotta tell this one. Younger children, please cover your ears if this is going to bother you.
I'm assuming I know.
Blind Metal Gamer, NVDA is amazing.
So when I first got access, this is not so much a dictation error as it is a Siri error. But when I first got access to Siri, I was just asking it all kinds of random crap.
Oh no, I don't remember hearing this one.
No, I don't think you have.
I thought you were going to say macho ass. I was like, that was pretty funny too.
Yeah, I think everyone knows about that one.
True, you did post it all over the place.
Yeah. So I'm just asking Siri all these random questions. And mind you, this is iOS 5 Siri that's like very, very limited. This is when Siri was a baby.
Who says, I found this on the web for everything.
Yes. So as I'm just asking random questions, I'm like, Siri, do you like sandwiches? And Siri comes back with, I don't know what that means. Would you like me to search the web for, do you like sex?
Wow. How did it make? How? Great. Thanks, Siri. Now, if I ever want to have sex with someone, I'm going to say, hey, you want a sandwich?
Joshua Schramm, oh God.
Oh my God. That's great. I love that. That's the best one yet. I was trying to tell somebody
Blind
I had
Metal
perfect
Gamer,
pitch,
oh fuck.
which for those
I'm
of you who
laughing my
don't
ass
know is
off.
the ability
Oh
to
my
identify
God.
a note by playing it. And it said perfect bitch. I said, that's not what I said. So sorry, that's not what I said.
Oh my gosh. And then when I first got access to dictation, there was another one. I tried to send someone a text because I was learning some song or other on the guitar, and I'm like, I'm like, I hope I can play the whole song very soon. And my dumb iPhone 4S comes back with, I would like to be able to play the phone roaster.
The what?
The phone roaster.
How does it even come up with that?
The same way one of them comes up with Brad Pitt when I mentioned nothing about Brad Pitt.
Half the time when I say bop it, it comes back with bob it. It's like one word. I'm like, how do you get that?
Or mine comes back
Blind
with
Metal
buffet.
Gamer. Okay, I will hysterics.
Oh my
This is
God.
classic.
I could go for a buffet right now. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
But not with Brad Pitt. I think that would be awkward considering now he knows your intention is to test him.
Oh God, if he ever found out about that, that would just be, I don't know.
Don't you said he was married?
I think he is. Like, if he ever found out about that little blunder, I don't even want to think about what would happen. I could get sued.
Blind
or
Metal
go viral.
Gamer. Do you pay for Suno? I'm on the free plan. Mark Miller. So does that mean you are roasting a song? LOL.
No, I do not pay for Suno, although I would like to. More credits.
No, she's not roasting a song. She's roasting her phone.
Hey, at least I'm not that guy on YouTube who put an iPhone 4S in the microwave just to see what it would do.
Probably exploded.
The home button turned into jelly.
Did I ever tell you about the time I had a phone explode on me?
No, I don't think so.
Catch on fire. So, I'm shocked. Oh, you know why I didn't tell you about it? Because it had my SIM card in it, which also melted. Anyway.
Oh, God.
So I didn't have...
Blind Metal Gamer. One thing about Suno I noticed when you make a song, sometimes they cut off and don't put all the way. I remember the iPhone for some of those text messages were insane and funny as hell. Mark Miller. Oh yeah. Is it a good idea to microwave this?
I had it. So, I bought one of the mini. You should remember this. I thought I told you about this. Maybe not. About the mini phone at least. And I was complaining about how it wouldn't turn on, and then somebody had to install Android accessibility suite.
Joshua Schramm, was it the Samsung Note 7?
Yeah, I remember that bit.
Oh, I didn't tell you about the exploding bit. Okay. I was like, I know I read some parts of it. So I put my SIM card in, and it's one of those
The Blind
ones
Gamer
that
and Technologies.
has dual,
Okay, I'm back. My
it has
internet
the
is a
SIM
piece
card
of shit.
and the micro SD slot.
Yeah, like my
And
Samsung.
The Blind
over
Gamer
there.
and Technologies.
Like
I mean,
most
piece of crap.
Samsungs. And so I had help putting it in the first time. Then I was like, okay, I know this isn't going to be my main driver, my daily driver, so I'm just going to take it back out. So I took it back out, put it back in my iPhone. Great, whatever. Later
Blind Metal
that
Gamer.
evening,
Oh yeah,
something
was meowing,
possessed
and
me
now
to
he is
do
right
it
beside
again.
me, rubbing on me and wanting my
And
attention.
help was across the room, not paying attention.
The
And
Blind Gamer and
I didn't ask
Technologies.
for
Oh,
it
by the
because I
way,
thought I
did you
could do it
find UL
myself.
on your Mastodon?
And then when I did ask for it, the SIM card had gotten jammed in the. It was
Lance,
in the
good
right
day, people.
place,
How's
but
it going? Hello.
It didn't like latch in properly. So when I stuck it into the phone, it fell out in the phone. When I pulled the tray out and nothing came with it, I was very concerned. I was like, "Oh my God! Now what am I going to do? My SIM card is lost in the phone, and I don't have, I don't have eSIM." So, help came over with a nutcracker from the kitchen, like, because there was a bowl of like actual nuts that you had to pull open with the thing.
Yeah.
And so, she pried the back off, and mind you, it was warm. The phone was, which should have been an indication that there was something going on with the battery. But apparently it wasn't, because as soon as she pried the back off and was about to lift the battery, because typically SIM cards, if they get lodged
The
somewhere,
Blind Gamer
they're
and
underneath the battery.
Technologies. What the hell? WW, what the hell? A nutcracker?
Yeah, it
Wow.
exploded. Like, genuinely, she ran faster than I've ever seen her run
Oh,
out
God.
of the house and buried it in the dirt. Now, we've got like 5 acres of property, or we did, and so she just went and buried it in the dirt, and then came home from school the next day and was like, "Hey, I found your tiny little phone that exploded, buried in the dirt." I was like, "Cool, it can stay there." And it took me 5 days to get a new SIM card mailed to me.
Blind Metal Gamer. Oh, fuck.
$10 later.
Oh God.
Yeah. But lesson learned. Don't go cheap.
Yeah.
Or just don't, stick your SIM cards in the wrong place, or don't explode your phone, or all of the above.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Blind Gamer and Technologies. Bari died like the corpses in daily life, lol.
Buried it, yes. Completely.
And to the person who asked me if I found that link, I know where it is. It's just that Mastodon will sometimes cut off
Blind
links.
Gamer and Technologies. I can't type sorry.
And if I send you an abbreviated link, it's not going to take you anywhere.
No, it was not the Samsung Note 7. It was the brand I don't remember phone that had a
Mark Miller,
screen
at
that
least
was
now,
about,
eSIM is a thing.
I think it was advertised like 3-point-something inches. Then that's measured diagonally, by the way. It was really little.
About the size of an iPhone 3GS, basically.
The keyboard was super small.
Blind Metal Gamer, Cookie, I had to run, but I'm going to go for now. Have a good one, and I would like for you and your girlfriend to know you're always welcome on my channel. Blind Gamer and Technologies, you could put the file up to Google Drive and send a drive link maybe?
But yeah, it was little. It was like $50 for that too. I was like, great, I just set $50. Literally set $50 on fire.
Good job. I thought I'd broken the Torx when I got it because I put a battery in the wrong way.
Girl, you put a battery in your keyboard the wrong way.
Yes,
I'm not
I did.
surprised in the slightest.
And then I couldn't figure out why the keyboard wasn't working. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this is a brand new computer. I literally just took it out of the box. What is going on here? So I had to run and get my mother, and I'm like, my computer is not cooperating. I can't get narrator to turn on. And first of all, it was asleep because I'd pressed the power button again, thinking maybe it hadn't
Blind
taken
Gamer
the
and
first
Technologies.
time.
Oh, is
So
your
when
Google
you
Drive
plug
fixed
in,
from that I
it
can't find my
comes on
crazy party
automatically?
save?
Well, I had pressed the power key to turn it on, and I wasn't sure if it had taken because, well, the sun was out.
Nothing was talking to you.
Yeah, nothing was talking. No noises, no nothing. So I pressed it again, and once the keyboard was proving to be stubborn, I go to get my mother, and of course I had put the mouse on a lower shelf because I do not use a mouse 90% of the time. And she's like, "Where's the mouse?" And I'm like,
Blind
"Oh,
Gamer
right
and
here."
Technologies. No Microsoft David talking to you.
And you said she scared herself
2:15 p.m.
when she got out to work because the volume went to like maximum capacity.
Yeah, it totally did. It was terrifying. Did I tell you about the day I accidentally muted it and had to call Be My Eyes to get it fixed?
Yep, because you were trying to get some stuff ready for your radio show and ended up accidentally muting your
Blind Gamer and Technologies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever it's called. Listen to me. I'm not
it's all good.
technological, I guess.
But yeah, nobody.
Your
was,
audio cable thing.
Yeah,
It's
nobody
called.
was around, and I had gotten the sound back to the right sound card, and then I hit something on the keyboard, or hit something somewhere, and it just like stopped talking, and I could not get any noises out of it.
2000 Stu, I almost set my Xbox One controller on fire just by putting the goddamn battery in. I never saw that battery again.
Please do
Mark
not.
Miller, oh, you mean like when your NVDA decided to mute itself, and you had to have help on unmuting it?
Yeah, except this time, Mark, it was literally
Blind
the
Gamer and
entire
Technologies. Oh, by the way, I have started an adventure at Caesar, yes.
computer. Cool.
I tend to trust Ira more with visual assistants. So like I've only ever used them once, and I use Be My Eyes for the AI stuff. With Ira, the first 5 minutes are free, and typically the 5 minutes is all I need for someone to help me. And so nobody was around, and well, part of it was nobody was around. Part of it was the people that were going to be around later refused to help me, because they didn't agree with me paying for my own phone plan. Anyway, so I had to use Ira to read the activation code on the
Who Blind
Sim
Gamer
thing,
and
and they did great.
Technologies. Oh,
And they're
about that. IRA is for blind shell
I like
phones
them
too
because
if you
they're
did not know
professionally
this.
trained.
Just some
Nothing
extra
against the
info.
volunteers who just like want to help,
Mark
but
Miller,
like
which is
I
honestly
don't know.
sad how people would
I
do
like
that.
the more like professional atmosphere, I guess, because they know what they're there for, what they're supposed to say, you know. And every time I call Be My Eyes, they never answer. So I've also never gotten specialty assistance through them, so I'd be curious to know how that worked.
I used the Microsoft AI thing one time, namely the day my stupid electricity blinked in the middle of the night and sent Windows into startup repair, and I had to cancel my radio show because it refused to come out of it by like 12 o'clock.
Oh, they put Ira on the blind shell. Sorry, just looking at chats. That's really cool. The blind shell is limited compared to like iPhones and Androids, but they've still got like email capabilities and web browsing and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
but it's
they're
good
getting
to know
better. They're getting better about that with the new ones that are coming out.
Yeah.
Am I ever gonna get one? Probably not, because it's just not something I could see myself using. Would I get one to test? Maybe. But like as a daily driver, no.
I like the I almost switched
For
to
Blind
a flip phone
Gamer and
because I was tired
Technologies,
of
the Blind
having a
Shell
smartphone,
Classic
but then I
3 is not
realized,
really
like,
limited if you
I
remember.
use my phone for everything, and it's insane, especially not just as blind people, but as a society, like how much we rely on our phones and how like people are so like reluctant to just like step away. Like I have no problem stepping away. I'll leave my phone up here to charge, and I'll go downstairs and I'll do other stuff. And when I come back up, it's charged, and half the time, no one has texted me, and there's no like the house didn't burn down, nothing's nothing's going on. They can survive. The internet can survive.
For Blind
without me
Gamer and
for
Technologies, the
2
BS2
hours.
is what I am using on my daily life. No problems.
Yeah, mainly I carry mine around for like maybe 2 people because I never know when they're going to need to get a hold of me or when I'm going to need to get a hold of them. Or if I'm listening to something, obviously I'll carry it around with me.
Yeah.
Which is most of the time because I don't like it if there's not some kind
For
of...
Blind Gamer and Technologies, problems, goodness.
It's all good. Fortunately I can speak typo because I've also had to learn how to speak dictation.
we were just talking about that last night.
Yeah. Also, I knew a guy
Mark Miller, the Braille? More like the Alfail.
Once I knew a guy who did not use the space bar while texting. Like
you told me about that. You said it got really irritating.
Yeah, we were like Facebook friends and Skype friends, and this guy just would not use the space bar. And I'm like, are you serious right now, dude? I can't deal with this. The worst was probably the guy who was like attracted, if you understand what I mean, to people remoting into his computer.
For Blind Gamer and Technologies, that is how I can type if I get out of bed, LOL.
Wow.
Like, yeah, as soon as I found out about that, bye-bye. That's creepy. Like, I am not going to judge you based on what you're attracted to, and if you try to forcibly pull me into it, I will cut you off. Because that's weird.
Right.
You would not believe some of the stuff that people used to post on this one website I used to hang out on. It shut down before you really, got into a whole lot of the internet communities and stuff like that. But those people were so weird. Like,
for Blind Gamer and Technologies, do you guys remember that not super walk around and really do nothing hunt? LOL. When I first heard that I was laughing like an idiot.
Yeah, that Super Egg Hunt trophy, that was brilliant.
Which one?
The one you get if you stand around doing nothing.
I have gotten that with, there's the same guy that, does, Perilous Marathon, released a different game. I think it was something with balloons.
Balloon Master! Oh my god, I love that game!
Yeah. Same concept as, Super Egg Hunt, just less trophies.
For Blind Gamer
and
and Technologies, practice Pratsies trophy.
Plug in so I don't lose you. What are we at here? 46.
Yeah, I actually have that game on my computer right now.
Oh, really? For some
Yeah.
reason, I didn't think you played it.
I didn't for a while, largely because I couldn't find it. Because it got discontinued.
Did it? I think it was right on his website.
Now Perilous Marathon's still around, but the other one, I could not find it. Fortunately, Blind Help had it.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies? Is that the Blind Help version? Because you can find it there.
I think that's where I got it from. He must have discontinued it shortly after I downloaded it.
Yeah, the last time I was up there, I couldn't find it, but... Oh, you guys will be happy to know that they're working on Deck Talk for Android.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies? Wow.
Here, I'll show you. I'm testing it.
2:22 p.m. Battery level 65. Link to videos. New notification from Autoplay. Pixel 7 Pro. Select to choose what happens with this device.
Why do you have
1 of 2 window.
Announce the time? I noticed that on your watch.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies? Window Eyes Deck Talk Idiot LOL.
Also.
That is a CSR feature. You can have 2 TTS engines. One to announce like status and notifications, and one to just do the main reading.
Interesting. Why would you want to do that?
So it doesn't. So it's not cutting itself off while you're trying to read something. If you get a notification coming in,
it would annoy me the other way around, where it would keep talking when I'm trying to cut it off.
Well, you can turn off the notification reading so that it doesn't like read every time a notification comes in.
I mean, how do you handle it at night? Like when your phone's just going pew 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 all night.
My phone goes on silent mode at 8 o'clock. It turns itself to silent at 8 o'clock.
What time does it come back on?
Joshua Schramm. Yep, it's buggy RN for me. I get loud beeping. Who Blind Gamer and Technologies? Can you turn it up just a little bit?
Yes, I can. Just one sec.
Oh, Windows Nova Launcher.
It comes back on around 4 because I used to have to get up that early. Sometimes I still do, like if I just want some quiet time.
Yeah.
Barred Apple. Be My Eyes. Zedge. Clock. Nova Settings. Telegram has 70 notifications. Spotify.
Just like 70?
Yeah, I'm in a couple of Telegram groups that never shut up.
Lance J. Long time no see.
I couldn't tell which.
Fitbit. Camera. Discord has 15 notifications. Envision
Who Blind
AI.
Gamer and Technologies? What the hell? LOL, you are an early weaker LOL haha XD.
Accessibility. Button. Talk Big Off.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies? Waker.
Yeah.
66. 60. Screen locked.
Well, you know what they say, the early bird gets the worm.
Right.
Or the quiet time.
Yeah, now if they would just put Braille support in CSR, I would be really happy because, like, I mean, come on.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies? But can you do that drive link thunk for all? Because I really want to play it.
Within the next 6 days, if I can get the thing, or within the next 5 days rather, if I can get the thing to actually cooperate and download, then yes. After that, I lose my Google Drive storage again. When I tell you people I have no money, I'm not kidding.
Dude, I literally have $1 to my name. It's so sad.
Tell me about it. One of my accounts has 37 cents in it, and the other one has 97.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies? Oh, and there it goes, Auto Peter LOL.
Yeah, Auto Peter. Oh my god. I can't get over that. Like, I've got a little bit in my Cash App, but I've kind of forgotten my PIN.
Oops.
Yeah. That's part of the reason I want to get this stupid HomePod out of my floor is, extra money. My cell phone bill is coming up. So, yeah.
Who blind gamer and technologies. That is my current notification sound on my BSXD.
Huh?
Does your family help with that if you don't have the money to?
Sometimes when they can.
Yeah, because that renews in a couple days.
Yeah, it comes out the 28th. My team talk Bill if I can get Cash App to cooperate.
Who blind gamer and technologies. Extra money and boom super egg key LOL.
Yeah, it's $4 a month.
Ugh, why?
Well, I mean that's a bargain compared to some of the other services I saw.
True.
And because the last time I had a free host, well, we know what happened to the server.
True.
Lance, Cash App or text you a new code.
Okay.
Yeah, my phone payments always come out just in the nick of time.
Yeah,
for me to actually have money.
If the government had actually, given me a little more time, I could have scheduled it better, but they literally said, "Oh, by the way, we're cutting you off in 2 days."
Yeah. And everybody else in the house that uses ACP stuff is still connected?
They don't use it. They use Cricket, which service sucks.
Ugh.
Who blind gamer and technologies. My internet fixed itself.
I noticed, because I was using Mint Mobile before I switched to Visible, and I noticed they run off the T-Mobile towers. I noticed that in the rural area that I was living in before, once I switched to Visible, like my service was like 10 times better.
Oh, tell me about it. I've got full bars.
It seems like Verizon is better for
I've got full bars in most
areas.
of the house.
Yeah.
Now, I still have the other SIM card in there, mainly because
Who blind gamer
really
and technologies. Do you want to play Bop It Ultimate on Radman VPN?
Yeah.
Do I want to play Bop It Ultimate on what? Like, I don't even know if Windows 11 will let you do the online mode anymore. Because that's such an old program. Like, I kid you not, the one thing that irritates the living crap out of me with Windows 11 is what they did to the right-click menu. Like, I just want my options. I don't want to have to click show more like 5 times.
Who blind gamer and technologies. It let you download Radman.
I don't even know how to forward ports, so yeah, that would be interesting. Which is why I downloaded the GOG Galaxy client, so that when people want to do co-op Stardew, all they have to do is get a code from me, and then they can join without port forwarding and all that bullcrap.
2:30 p.m.
Time is 2:30 p.m.
Yeah. And their client is a lot nicer than Steam.
Who blind gamer and technologies. You don't freaking need to forward that freaking port.
Wants to play
Nightbot, want all my goodies. Go to http://evilcookies.jc-hosting.me.
Steam and I are just like not friends at all.
I think it was BeatStar that I was trying to play, but I can't remember.
If that's on Steam, that's news to me. I know they've got Sequence Storm up there for.
That's what I meant. That was it.
Yeah.
Yep, there it goes. I knew it wasn't that one. I was like, that can't be right. No, it was Sequence Storm, and yeah, I couldn't even get through the setup wizard. It was that bad.
Yeah, I bought Sequence Storm from Itch, which is like 50 million times easier to work with.
2000 Stu. If
like
your
$10,
router
you
supports
sent me the link to it. I was
UPnP,
like, oh,
you can
cool.
forward ports really easily.
I don't know
if
if
she doesn't want to read it.
Yeah, I don't know if ours does or not. One of our old ones did because I could host Crazy Party servers if I did it that way. But I don't know if this one does. Because I've not needed to host a Crazy Party server since they did away with you having to host your own all the time. On the topic of which, I wish there was like a reliable US-based server that people playing in the US could use and not have to deal with,
people in other countries. Nothing against people in other countries, but people who have a language barrier.
Well, not even necessarily that, but sometimes the central server is a lag fest.
It's probably clogged with people from other countries.
Yeah, so someone should really set up like a reliable US-based server just so that
Well, Liam's got one, doesn't he?
He did. I don't know if it's still up. It's like I texted him one day. I'm like, hey, can I borrow your crazy party server? The central one blew up. And he's just like, yeah, it's there to be used. I'm like, okay.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies, you can download Radman VPN if you want and we can play Bop at Ultimate there without port forwarding. If you do not know what is that, I can tell you.
It was just Spotify. So, yeah.
I unsubscribed from all that.
Well,
2000 Stu, Chris Wright's server is always up besides reboots.
Okay.
I keep it around occasionally if they send me promotional emails of, here's your month of premium because you haven't been a member for you haven't been a member for 30 days or more. So here's your free. And then they've broken the update for iPhones and I can't rewind. And I know that's like really picky to not like a service because I can't rewind, but I'm one of those people that like rewinds to certain parts of the song just so I can hear it again.
Oh yeah.
If I can't do that, then I can,
Yeah, well, I'm using a modded Spotify on my main phone.
Yeah, because you have an ad blocker for everything.
Well, not even that. The Spotify app itself is modded.
So it makes it think that you have premium when you don't?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Blind Help has it.
Really? Do they have it for iPhone too?
Probably not. No, I don't think you can mod iPhone apps. I don't think Apple would let you.
True. Oh, man.
Because they're stingy like that.
That sucks. I guess I'll just keep paying $5 a month for my music. Until they finally realize that I'm no longer a college student and I can pay $110 a year. Because I will take an annual subscription any day. Because then I don't have to worry about coughing up the money for it at the end of the month.
True.
I didn't know Chris Wright had a server.
I'm honestly not surprised.
Neither am I. I just didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
Joshua Schramm, I use a modded Spotify also.
Yeah, you and I probably use the same one. If you got it from the same place. Somebody needs to make a modded BitLife so I don't have to pay for all that stuff again.
Francis Cole, what platform are you and your friend
all
on?
Of the services that require unreasonable subscriptions.
We're on Meet. But yeah, the situation with BitLife in my case is kind of interesting because when I got it, the only
For Blind Gamer and
purchase
Technologies, check your SK pipe.
Was to remove ads. They introduced all the expansion packs.
Lance, does it make
later.
Spotify better to use?
It gets rid of the ads and it makes it think you have premium even if you don't. So, as BitLife introduces these expansion packs, I get kind of grandfathered into them and it just unlocks.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies, oops, that is how to make the chat reader make the T-word LOL.
Because you have a history of purchasing things from them.
Yeah, because when, like I said, when I purchased that thing, that was all they had was the thing to remove ads. Mm-hmm. So I've been basically given all of the expansion packs as they've come out. Now that I've switched platforms, I don't have access to those, and they've said they can't transfer it. So I'm not about to pay like $40 for something I paid $3 for before. That's just unreasonable. Because to get the ad removal thing plus the thing that lets you customize your characters more is like $13.
One time or monthly?
One time.
Oh, well that's good. That's not terrible. If it was monthly, I would have a problem.
Well, there's each expansion pack.
Joshua Schramm, where did you get your modded Spotify from again? I don't remember where I got it from.
That much.
Yeah, I got it from Blind Help. And they keep coming out with more expansion packs. So that would be a new purchase basically every single update.
It kind of broke it for the iPhone, so I don't play it much anymore.
Alternatively, you can pay for something that gives you all current and future packs, which is about the same cost as the other pack.
Lance, I don't mind ads, that's how things get paid for, but premium features would be nice.
What I mind is when they give you more ads than
Joshua
music.
Schramm, nice.
So they are charging like $30 to $40 depending on which purchase path you go with for something that used to only cost $3.
I've had good luck with Spotify with ads. I usually only get them every 5 or 6 songs, and if I'm doing something like taking a shower where I can't be there to change the song and I like the lineup, then I don't mind it so much. But if I want to play a specific song, if I want to play a specific album, I use my Apple Music because that's the only thing I have like the primo version of. Except I do have Spotify Premium right now just for the month, but
I've got Apple Music until like the 29th.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies. Oh, I have asked the BHP people to put up Super Egant to Blind Help with a free key.
I don't think that would exactly be workable. Those have a history of getting blocked. Liam would not like that.
I emailed him for a replacement key because Dummy didn't save the email that had my key in it, and then realized I was going to need a new computer because someone else needed it more than I did. And so now I have to pay $15 again to get a new one, but it's no big deal. No big deal, I say, as I have to pay $120 for Paladin and both Manamons, but hey.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And
for
that's only a third of the money I get.
And for stuff that doesn't even get maintained, like the developer just like doesn't even appear to care.
No, once those games came out, they were only Manamon 2 was updated a handful of times, but now it hasn't been.
No.
And Paladin hasn't been updated in years.
No, I don't even think that got updated maybe one time.
It got updated to add the new wall tones, I would imagine.
Well, that's an optional pack that you can install that has nothing to do with a software update. It just replaces
Francis Cole, do I have permission to join the meet?
I don't think we're letting people in, just so it doesn't get chaotic. Like, it's nothing against anybody, but if too many people get in, it gets, like, really noisy and really chaotic, and then we both want to yank our hair out because chaos.
Francis Cole, sorry for asking.
No,
Did I make
okay.
you cross?
No!
Mark Miller, clickable.
You do not have to worry about making me mad. If you make me mad, I will let you know. Just ask anybody who's ever made me mad. They know about it in short order.
That was a very unpleasant sound.
And then
I was going behind the wall and my nail dug against the wall and it felt like nails on a chalkboard. I was like,
ow.
Well, no, it didn't hurt. It was just annoying.
Yeah.
Set an alarm for 3:45.
Second alarm set for 3:45.
Yes, second, because my other alarm is a weekday.
Lance, I thought Mana Man was $3,035. I don't remember it being that much, lol.
Yeah, $3,035. I'm sorry, but if there's a game out there that costs $3,035, I am never buying it. You can forget it.
Just 40, even though 40 seems a little unreasonable too.
They
were gonna make me pay 40 for Entombed too, but then you said they made it free, and then I went back and it's still not free. So like I don't know. Maybe I installed the wrong
you
thing.
have to email the guy to get him to unlock
Lance,
your
I said
account.
30,
I
35.
might have done that and I didn't hear back. I don't remember. It's been years.
Oh, okay. Well, the way
Francis Cole, it is $39.95.
the way the chat reader read it, it said 3,035.
Nope, I got 3,035 too. And by the way, it doesn't say manamon. It says man. 3 separate words. Yep. 3,035. 3035 all together.
I guess it's
Mark
a good...
Miller, look, Francis, you don't need to ask if you make someone cross. If you made someone cross, you would know. Do I
Yeah.
make myself clear? Yes?
Yeah,
Good. Now, let's get on with our day. Who Blind Gamer and Technologies, I have sent you a surprise.
Yeah, dictation
Francis Cole,
is,
that's dictation for you.
Lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't have to ask me all the time if you've made me mad, because if you've made me mad, you'll know about it, and you'll know about it fast. And here's some free advice. If you've made me mad, don't come at me and tell me to calm down.
That's like the worst thing you can do to somebody, whether they're... People say it's a thing not to do with women, but I think men are the same way. If someone is actively upset, either at you or something else, saying to calm down makes it like 10,000 times worse.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't hurt to give somebody a minute to breathe, and then they can come back and center themselves and be, more. They're better able to talk about it when they've processed it themselves.
Yeah, I had 3 people last week decide to block me on Mastodon because someone made the mistake of being a condescending jerk when my fuse was already short.
And
then they
they cut you off?
They told me to calm down and that I needed to chill out, and that just, well, when you're already furious and then someone does that, what does it do?
Yeah.
And I was really, really mad, and they're like, well, you're not listening to us, so we're just gonna block you. I'm like, oh, that's gonna hurt me so
Mark
much.
Miller, why the hell was that so low pitched?
Because at some point I was using the acapella engine, and I found a trick to get a voice that officially no longer exists. But for a while the setting didn't take, and now they've updated the watch, and now it has randomly decided to take. So now it sounds funny. It sounds like demon eloquence, if you ask me.
I was gonna say that. I was like,
Who
why
Blind
does it
Gamer and
sound so
Technologies,
weird?
hee.
It's evil. It's evil eloquence.
Takes after you. I'm just kidding.
Maybe. Maybe just a little.
Now we have more people here than we did when we first started. Does anybody who didn't have a chance to ask a question want to ask a question?
Mark Miller, I was about to say, why are you using a demon eloquence?
2:45 p.m.
Listen to us talk about nonsense. Which is, I mean,
Who
great,
Blind Gamer and
but
Technologies,
also,
soy, or an
try to
eloquence that
stick
has a
to
throat
your
problem,
chest.
lol.
Yeah, they usually turn it.
Francis Cole, speaking of evil eloquence, have you ever watched Jaws for Windows as a Murderer?
I've watched bits and pieces of Jaws for Windows as a Murderer. I've never actually gotten to sit down
I
and
just
watch
saw
the
that
whole
2
thing.
seconds ago. I was like, what did that say? Demon eloquence.
But yeah, most of the time when I do an AMA, it turns into everyone just randomly chatting about random crap because people run out of questions.
Megahertz_ja, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
There's only so much you can ask.
True. Especially when you've been around.
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies, lol ha 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 ha.
Especially when you've been around long enough to know most of the answers.
Right.
I have gotten so many reactions to that notification tone. Somebody was trying to help me with some software or other on Team Talk one day, and they were like, did your phone just quack at me?
I thought that was your text tone for some reason, and then I realized it wasn't.
That's my default notification.
That's the default. Yeah, I realized that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I like the Pixel ones that it comes with. The only one I changed, I think, was my text. Because I don't
Who blind gamer and technologies about that quacking magnets and dancing pipe cleaners,
lol.
LOL.
Them into the right folder. Like, I know how to do it. I don't like taking all the time to do that. It's annoying to me.
Yeah,
it's cool that you can customize it more than the iPhone, but it's like I'd rather pay $1.29 for a ringtone.
Mark Miller. Oh, apparently, Miss Parker is streaming.
Then, and there's only a handful of people in my phone that have custom tones.
Joshua Schramm. Oh, I was wondering what that quacking was.
Yeah, I've got it set up so that the apps that tend to poke me the most and that I may want to give a crap about the most have got custom tones.
Mm-hmm.
And like my Mastodon, I can tell.
Lance, LOL. Don't like thinking about how long I've been around, LOL.
I can tell the difference from the sound whether somebody has mentioned me or boosted something or favorited something. And with Telegram, I can tell if it's a group chat or a private message. I used to have YouTube set up like that too, but then I kind of broke it. Because I was an idiot and installed the Android 15 developer preview like 2 days after it came out. And then I found out that if you rebooted your phone on some lines of phones, mine included, it would corrupt. So I had to take everything off the phone and roll it back, which is about 4 million times easier to do on Android than it is on iOS because you don't have to hold down 7 different keys with 5 fingers.
Yeah, where do they think we get all these extra appendages from?
I know, right?
Joshua Schramm, what kind of music do you both like?
Commands and it's like Control, Option, Shift, this and this and that. I'm like, I only have 2 hands.
Right?
Mark Miller, apparently, it was Deck Talk singing You Got Mail.
Is it raining? Not on your end, not just mine.
Francis Cole, I don't mean to go on a rant here, but I really hate how they have not fixed Braille screen input in Skype for iOS ever since it broke, which was June of last year, or was it earlier than that?
It has to be. It was raining this morning.
As for music, for my part, I will listen to anything that doesn't suck.
Like, that's very specific.
Well, if you'd seen the inside of my music folder, you'd understand what I mean.
They sort of fixed braille screen input with the iPhone. One thing I don't like, I had to take it out of my rotor because, first of all, they've incorporated a new gesture, which I already forgot because it's listed in the settings, but I just forgot to make note of it. And it makes a really annoying sound when you scroll to it on the rotor.
The thing for command mode, yeah. I think it's like one finger on each end of the screen a couple of times.
And I'm the same with her when it comes to music. Country is my go-to, but I will listen to pretty much anything. I have a very little tolerance
Who blind
for
gamer
rap
and
music,
technologies. Oh, I really want to play Bop It Ultimate with you at some point.
Whatever.
You can check your Skype and I sended you the program that you need.
I'm not a huge fan of like oldies, so like classic stuff from like anything beyond like the 60s. I'm not a huge fan of. Just it sounds too old, I guess. But I can appreciate certain pieces. I don't dabble in heavy metal much either. The closest thing I'll listen to is like Dragula by Rob Zombie or Enter Sandman by Metallica because the guitar solo is really good.
Yes. That one in Master of Puppets, thanks to Stranger
Joshua
Things.
Schramm, nice. Heavy metal is my fave. I hate rap.
I didn't even know that one was featured in Stranger Things. I only watched up to season 1.
Yeah, it's in season 4.
Whoa. I'm really behind.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of the night before last I dreamed we had a pet Demogorgon and I kept it in the refrigerator.
You have the strangest dreams.
I know!
I never dream, but you consider yourself lucky. I just daydream. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge rap person. I'll listen to like, I don't like very much of like Post Malone stuff, but some of it is okay. I like more of his pop stuff than his rap. I think Better Now is probably the closest I'll get to his rap. He is one of the pop goes country artists that has actually managed to pull it off. Like I was really impressed with F1 Trillion, the album that just came out recently. Um, he was featured in the CMA Awards last night, which were disappointing to say the least to anyone who watched it. Uh, half the people who got the awards, I don't think they deserved them. People have forgotten the definition of country music. Either that, or I'm just stuck on what I believe the definition of country music is, and I'm slow to adapt to the change of whatever it's turning into now.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor and stay away from Beyonce's cover of Jolene. It sucks.
My God, it's terrible. Beyonce, that one Texas Hold'em whatever is awful.
Ugh.
And I actually saw somewhere that George Strait came out and like made a statement and was like, just because you wear a cowboy hat and say, you know, y'all or whatever, like doesn't make you a country
Lance,
singer.
just check out the warning. Three sisters in a rock band, pretty good.
At all. That one song by Shabuzi is okay, but it's way too popular, and the rest of his stuff isn't great. The one thing I thought, the couple groups I thought deserved the awards they got. Old Dominion got vocal group, and Brooks and Dunn got duo.
Cool.
Which I love Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah,
so
same.
that was great. And Old Dominion's pretty good too. Megan Maroney got new artist, I think. And a friend of mine were going back and forth last night. I was like, Megan Maroney is not the best new artist of the year, you stupid idiot.
Lance, I missed the CMAs. I had the mod last night.
Not great. She's okay, but just not my favorite. And then who else? Two songs by Chris Stapleton got nominated for an award back-to-back. So he got Single of the Year and Song of the Year, which I don't understand why there's two separate awards. They're basically the same thing. And I don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't care for Chris Stapleton very much. So there's like one song, I think it's called You Should Probably Leave, is like the only one I can tolerate by him. Let's see. Yeah, CMA, it was okay. It was not great, but it was okay.
Yeah, I don't have a TV plan, so
two things. Number one, I would have given you my YouTube TV, although the Roku's not very good at reading the codes out loud, so you would have had to like record your TV reading it and then send me that, because I have tried to log into YouTube TV.
For Blind Gamer and Technologies. I have an idea if you want to pay something. Apologies if not. Just an idea.
So and I've had no luck downloading the app, opening the app, and then like, you know, being connected to the same Wi-Fi, because half the time the TV was on my hotspot.
For Blind Gamer and Technologies,
connected to Wi-Fi because we didn't have actual internet.
Gotcha.
But and then also I'm not paying for it anymore anyway, so because I have other priorities.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $72 a month just so I can watch Jeopardy. Like, I'm gonna try to get my hands on a coax and see if this antenna that I've got laying around actually will catch ABC, because, you know, once I move again, hoping that, assuming that it works out, we'll have the same area for streaming Jeopardy on CBS. I can just use Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the commercials.
For Blind Gamer and Technologies, not pay.
Like,
wow,
honestly,
I am an idiot. LOL. That was
might be different
stupid.
areas
I do not
too,
want
in
you to
different
waste your
channels,
money.
'cause CBS is definitely heavy on the car insurance and old people medicine. But around here, it's not super heavy on that. And I use the commercials as an opportunity to take a bathroom break, get a glass of water, whatever I have to do. while I'm waiting for check
Joshua Schramm, a
notifications on
few
my
of my
phone,
favorite
whatever it
bands
might
are
be.
Citizen Soldier, Bad Omens, and Slipknot, to name a few.
It's just an excuse to kill time.
Yeah, my commercials, it's either you need life insurance, or you need car insurance, or you need to clean your carpet.
All of those things, oh my god, Stanley Steamer, yes. They're very important things to do, but to hear about them all the time is like, oh my god, kill me.
Or, have you ever been injured in an accident? Just like, come on, stop!
That's CBS for you. They are heavy on the, if you have a phone, you have a lawyer.
So, that's why I do the YouTube thing. Because, like, if I have to put up with many more of those, I'm going to be bald because I'm going to rip my hair out.
Alex Chapman, G4PTV. I just clicked onto the stream since I was out watching the Christmas lights switch on in town, which was fun, lol.
I like more of their acoustic stuff than their heavier stuff. So, like, I'm Not Okay, Would Anyone Care? And there's one other one that I can't think of the title of that I really like. Slipknot is okay, and I've never heard. Oh wait, does that say Bad Omens? I thought it said Battlement or something. I was like, I've never heard of them. Bad Omens is great. I like what's that one? The
Blind Gamer and Technologies.
Like,
I have something to ask you if you want to join me. I don't know, do you want to stream with me, SBYW? Because I am planning to do that, and if you want, you can join.
Oh, that's gonna bug me.
Let me see what my schedule looks like, and I'll get back to you. Because, like I said, tomorrow's a down day. I gotta get playlists and stuff together for Saturday. Next week's gonna be funky.
God, this is like Guardian Angels all over again. Do you remember? Because we haven't.
Blind Gamer and Technologies.
4 years,
You're just asking.
Insane, by the way. But we were talking about our iTunes collections or whatever, and
Blind Gamer and Technologies. If not, well, not.
I couldn't think of it. Like, I had the words in my head, but I couldn't quite think of what it was called. That's happening again. I'm like, yeah. I can't think of what this is called, but it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Just Pretend. Yes, that's what it is.
Joshua Schramm, Just Pretend. That's a good song.
The Gray, or I think it's just called Gray, is another good one. What's another? Just Pretend is a really popular one by them. Gray, and then I'm trying to think of other stuff in the same genre. Falling in Reverse, Popular Monster is a good song by them. It's like the only song by them I know, actually. Let's see. Yeah, you'll see genre hops plenty if you watch her show on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
Hello, clock.
Incorrect clock that still won't get a darn signal.
Did it say 2? Oh my gosh. I couldn't catch it. I just said.
It said 3. It's still off.
It's 2:59. It's almost 3 o'clock. It's
Joshua Schramm, Mercy is probably my favorite Bad Omens song.
2:59 p.m.
I thought it was gonna say 2, and then it was actually 3. It's only like half a minute off. It's not terrible. Could be worse.
Actually, I don't know what it said, because I wasn't paying attention at the time. Usually it says 4 at 3,
3 p.m.
3 at 2,
3 o'clock p.m.
Oh, then it probably is still an hour off. Yeah. I just heard the time is now, and I noticed it was the clock. I didn't know what time it was saying.
Yeah, it's still not getting a signal, and I am not prepared to scroll through all 24 hours, minute by minute, with that arrow.
What signal does it get? Like, does it have Wi-Fi connectivity or something?
It's like a radio signal from, like, a clock in, like, Colorado or something.
Want all my goodies? Go to http://evilcookies.jc-hosting.me.
Thank you again, chat, for popping up all the way to the top, just where I need you.
Which is why, it sits next to the window so it can get said signal. And it still won't get it.
Yeah, there's plenty of bands similar to Bad Omens and the other one, Slipknot, and the other one. I have to check now.
I get into a lot of Broadway stuff, which reminds me, are any of you guys going to get to see the new Wicked movie that's coming out?
Yep, we're going Saturday.
Oh, you lucky outfit. That is
Not really. I'm not a huge fan of Wicked.
That is one of my favorites.
I like the musical a little bit, but there's plenty of Broadway stuff that I like a lot better.
Now, if I found out somebody was going to see Hamilton, like, several years ago when it was actually out there, I would have snuck into their bag.
To the original cast?
Yes. Oh my god, Hamilton is my absolute
I don't like
favorite.
I don't like any of the new cast.
Alex Chapman,
No.
G4P TV. I'll watch it on streaming if it has audio description. I never watch movies cause half of them don't have audio description, lol.
It's not supposed to stream for a while. It's just coming out in theaters on Friday, tomorrow. Fun fact, what's also coming out tomorrow, if anyone has ever heard of it, I read a book in school by Sharon M. Draper called Out of My Mind, about a young girl with cerebral palsy, making her way through school. They have created a movie adaptation, which is streaming on Disney Plus. It's either tomorrow or it's December 22nd. Either way, I don't have access to Disney Plus right now because my parents, their account won't let me use it because it's
Silver
not part
Chain.
of the house.
Yeah, I don't even bother
with
movie theaters. Mainly because they don't have audio description, but also because they're too loud and they're too expensive. Also, hey Cookie.
For charging me an insane amount of money that I almost didn't have, just for a card with my name and address on it.
Yeah,
Who Blind
dumb.
Gamer and Technologies. Oh, what is the version of the natural voice adapter that you are using? Because it has awesome reaction.
Real ID, because apparently this one's fake. No, this is just a standard non-driver, and you have to have real to travel. And obviously there are travel plans in the making. Winkety blink.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the real ID when I had to renew mine.
Yeah, normally you get them automatically, but apparently, so when I moved from Maryland to Michigan, they apparently, I don't know if I had a real ID in Maryland, but in Michigan they gave me a standard. So when I moved here, they also gave me a standard. I was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I had to ask for it.
I did, and they told me that, so the requirements, the 6 points of ID for the standard ID are 2 pieces of first-class government mail, fine, Social Security, birth certificate, and whatever else they needed. So I passed the points for standard. For real, they were super specific about what kind of information I needed. So I had to call Discover and request a statement by paper because I don't get them by paper.
Me either.
They needed a bank statement. I was like, are you serious? Because all I had from Discover, they thought it was a statement, but it was just a letter confirming my change of address. And they were like, oh no, we can't use this. So when you have your bank statement that's no less than 6 months old, come back, bring your standard ID, bring your birth certificate, Social Security, and the bank statement, and then we can do it for an additional $10. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah, when I got mine done, they weren't like too picky over what was in the envelope. They just needed envelopes.
Yeah, that's how it was in Michigan. They didn't care. They just wanted 2 pieces of mail. They didn't ask me what it was. They didn't make me open them. These people made me open them. I was like, what if there's personal information in there?
Right?
You're lucky it was a change of address and something from social services, who still haven't gotten back to me about my insurance, by the way.
Of course.
Applied to the wrong thing, and then the nice lady called me and transferred me to the right thing, and they were like, oh, well, now you have to wait 30 to 45 days. I was like, what if I break my leg? What if I have a heart attack?
Right?
What am I going to do? Like, thank God I'm still covered under my parents' insurance, but what am I going to do if something were to happen? Like, just recently, I had a really nasty sty in my eye.
Ow!
It was very painful and caused my eye to, like, get real irritated. The last time I had a sty, it swelled up to 3 times the original size. My mother said, are you sure you want to go to school looking like somebody just punched you in the face? I said,
Who Blind Gamer and Technologies. Oh God, please don't damage yourself.
But, so, thankfully, after an ice pack and a hot compress, it went away after 3 days. But last time I had to take an antibiotic pill and put cream in my eye to make it go away. So I was like, please tell me this is not happening right now so that I don't have to go home with a giant eyeball with a terrible infection and have to, because something about not living with my parents and using their insurance rubs me the wrong way, but also not living with my parents and not wanting anything to do with all of that, just,
Yeah.
is also a thing.
Yeah, I've damaged myself recently. I was out somewhere and fell off a platform.
Yeah, you told me about that. The step was bigger than you thought it would be.
That and, like, it was just between one step and the next. Like, my foot was on a hard surface, and then I took a step and it wasn't. And my ankle just decides it wants to go sideways. And it was either land flat on my back in the grass or do a whole lot worse damage. So, natural choice. It was either
Alex Chapman, G4PTV. Oh God.
Yeah, it was either land flat on my back in the grass or break something. Seems like a natural choice to me.
Who blind gamer and technologies, ouchie.
Yeah. Fortunately, after a minute, I was able to get up and, maneuver. So. The hardest part was getting back up off the ground. Because, like, landing flat on your back on something that you got, some leverage on that's not, the ground, it's easy to get up off of. But when you land flat of your back on the ground and you have nothing to push off of,
because the ground doesn't help.
Yeah.
If you tried to use your cane as
Silver
a brake,
chain. Okay, why are we talking about self-damage all of a sudden? Y'all are too valuable to damage yourself.
Yeah.
Almost more valuable than one of those Java electronics back in the day. What I mean is Java phones.
I'm sure it's been nice to have that instead of just relying on cited guide.
Yeah. Now, if it's like super crowded, I still will, because the people around here are
idiots
and don't, know that, hey, there's a stick coming towards my foot, I should move it.
I call that the cane dance. You got that coming for you if you're not paying attention.
Joshua Schramm, I crashed skiing and tore a ligament in my left foot.
Oh, here comes the dog.
I've never been skiing, and knowing my luck, if I went, yeah, things would get broken. And I don't mean the skis.
Yeah. What's my phone at? 81. Okay, we can disconnect. We'll cancel the alarm. You're not getting fed early. Don't even try me. Cancel 3:45 alarm.
Alex Chapman, G4PTV. A lot of people here in Hull don't move out of the way, and they only do when they get hit by the cane.
Little horse.
Did I ever tell you guys the story of the time I ran over somebody with a backpack in high school?
What do you mean ran over? The bag's not on the floor.
Yeah, it was. It was a rolling backpack.
What'd you do that for? Did you not want to put strain on your back? Because I had a heavy backpack that I always carried with me.
Yeah, at times I had an iPad, which wasn't heavy on its own, plus this really crappy Braille note, which also wasn't heavy on its own, plus whatever books I had to carry around, plus the chargers and adapters.
Silver chain, the cane dance, lol.
All of that stuff.
Since when did someone come up with the cane
I
dance?
carried that on
Yeah,
my back,
I get those warnings too.
which is
Anytime when
probably
an
why my
obstacle or
posture's so
person
bad.
is in front of me.
Because that was at least 10, 15 pounds, because I had the Braille note, I had the computer, I had a couple pieces of paper and folders and stuff that I would use. And I had my lunch, and I had whatever chargers. I started bringing chargers more when I was older.
Oh, and I had my
didn't do it
computer
so
in
much.
there.
Yeah.
I'd done enough carrying heavy backpacks in grade school because they would send me home with like 4 volumes of a book, and I was just like done with
Joshua
it.
Schramm,
That's
yeah,
insane.
it was a
Come
day
on, it's
before I was
raining.
supposed to race at the Canada Winter Games, so couldn't race.
Yeah, but yeah, I was done with having to
Who
carry
blind
those big
gamer and
bulky books around on
technologies,
my
your
back.
laptop.
Yeah,
I didn't mind.
and
Get your little patootie in here.
well, I've been carrying them since I was like 7.
What are you doing, man? Drinking the water out of the whatever it lands in when it rains?
And when my original school first got iPads, I wasn't allowed to touch them. I had to do everything the old-fashioned way, even though they had seen me work with stuff like that and knew I could do it.
Yeah.
So here I was carrying all this stuff around, and plus the days I had to carry the Braille writer around from room to room, and it wasn't one of those newer ones either. The ones that aren't as heavy. That thing was a brick.
The one I got's still heavy.
So
Fine,
finally,
you want to
once
stay
I
out
got
there in the
to
rain?
once I got to high school and had to carry so much stuff, I just gave up. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting a rolling bag because it'll
You
be
still
less.
have it?
It'll be yeah. Actually, I do. It's in the closet.
Do you use it?
Not unless I need to pack electronics.
Yeah. I've got an electronics backpack too. It was super helpful when I moved, keeping everything consolidated.
Well, where the rolling ones have like a harder shell too, instead of just being all flimsy.
I had a rolling one as a kid that was character themed, and it was soft. It wasn't a hard shell like a suitcase. It was just
Yeah, the one I've got, it's got more of a kind of a shell to it. That way it's better, protection for all the stuff. For the longest time when I was in high school, I carried my original laptop in my backpack in its box because I wasn't taking any chances. I didn't have a laptop case. Still don't have a laptop case. Not that it particularly matters
not that you
anymore.
need one. I was gonna say. Stupid chat. Stop going to the top.
But yeah, this kid, when I was in school, I think it was my freshman year. This kid and her little clique decided they were going to take up the entire width of the hallway. Just yammering. And I was almost late to class, and I tried, asking them politely, can we get past you, please? They weren't paying any attention. And I had tried asking them, like, they were talking and just doing their thing and not paying any attention to the people who needed past them. They were like,
whack them in the foot.
Yeah, well, my cane.
All you gotta do is just give them
my cane had already passed their. My cane was already through. Me and my cane were through by the time they had clogged everything up.
Oh.
The only thing not through was my backpack. Because you know how long the handles on those are. It's a little bit behind. Because if you try to pull it even with you, your cane's going to hit it or your foot's going to hit it and you're going to have a problem. So after maybe 4 or 5 minutes of them not moving and the tardy bell about to ring.
Now you come in.
I'm just like, you know what? Screw this. And I just yank the backpack and just like run over their foot with it because they would not move out of my way. Like, if I have asked you politely 6 times to move and you have totally ignored me and you're causing me to be late to class, we're going to have a problem. They tried to just, tell me to take extra time getting to them from class.
The blind gamer and technologies, and what was their reaction to that?
That was one of my accommodations, was getting 5 or 10 minutes extra.
Yeah, you can't.
Silver chain, damn. You see, guys, that's what happens when you fuck with blind people.
It's not always practical because especially in high school when you've got so many people in the hallways.
And if you're just about to, start an assignment that you can finish in that 10 minutes before the bell rings, and you're like, oh, well, now I have to leave 10 minutes early, so I'll have to do that later as more homework piled on top of whatever else they give you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not exactly practical. And a lot of schools around here,
3:15 p.m.
They don't give a crap. They've got this rule that you're not allowed to be in the hallways during the first or the last 10 minutes of class.
My school had the same rule. Nobody gave a crap. They still did it.
Oh, they gave plenty of craps around here. You could be about to puke and you'd have to fight to get out of class.
Wow. We had kids just do it in the classroom, and then we would just evacuate while the janitor came and cleaned up. I was in grade school, though. Most kids by high school know how to control that.
I had an incident one time where it got too hot in there, and I ended up getting sick without, any warning at all, so yeah.
You probably were dehydrated.
Well, it had been hot on the bus ride all morning.
Silver chain, is it just me or do I run into the same issue with my school? Because back before I graduated I had the same problem. Only problem is it wasn't multiple kids, it was one kid.
The bus ride had been hot that morning. The breakfast they give you wasn't worth squat, so I probably was low on sugar too.
You didn't carry like a reusable water bottle or anything with you?
We weren't allowed to.
Really?
Yeah.
Still, then what's the point of having water fountains around the school? Because I'm not sticking my face on that.
But yeah, the school breakfast wasn't worth squat. So like I said, my sugar was probably low too. When my sugar gets low and I get hot, bad combo. But no, I could drink Lake Superior, and if I got too hot, it would be really bad.
Who blind gamer and technologies, oops, guess what happened? Accidentally I ran into my mother's back because I was in bathroom and boom, dropped my phone.
Whoopsies. I still can't get over the time I was at church and the electricity went out. And everybody was flipping their lids about how the heck they were going to get down the stairs to the Sunday school rooms in the dark.
You were like, I'm fine.
I'm like, just get behind me. Watch me do what I do. You'll be fine. Grab both handrails.
How are you supposed to grab both handrails? You got a cane in your hand.
I wasn't allowed to carry it with me to church because the little kids would take it and fight over it.
That's a tool for your navigation. That should be carried with you everywhere.
I agree, but let's just say the same person who uprooted my life a couple of years ago was not very...
She was the picky one?
Yeah. But yeah, I did eventually, though, have to stop taking it, because I would take it, and then a bunch of the little kids would get a hold of it, and they'd fight each other. No matter how much I tried to keep them away from it, because, I mean, the way the church buses were lined out, they had me off to myself in this seat where I could, get to it easy. But I had to keep the cane in my lap because there was a gap. And if it fell in it, there's no way I was getting it back.
So you couldn't fold it, because if it dropped, then you'd be screwed.
Well, I could fold it up, but I had to keep it in my lap because...
And the kids still fought over it?
They could easily reach it because of that string, and they would grab it, and they would fight over it, or they would try to hit each other with it, and I wasn't going to be responsible for them getting hurt because none of them knew how to listen to the adults around them being like, don't do that.
Who blind gamer and technologies, oops, my little cousin just saw my BS charger, and you know how the little kids like cables, lol.
Yeah. So finally I'm just like, you know what? And I mean, I knew the church like the back of my hand anyway.
Yeah.
I'd been there since I was little. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother with this. There's too much risk of these smaller children getting hurt.
Yeah. At least you were able to navigate just by like trailing the walls and like knowing your surroundings.
I mean, there weren't a whole lot of places to get lost in there anyway, so.
There was in our church.
Silver chain, speaking of
Probably
canes,
like
I never did tell you. I recently got a new one from the flea market.
Nice. Yeah, I got a new one for my birthday last year, and that tip you could murder someone with. Which is good, because if they're stupid enough to get in my way, they deserve to get clunked in the ankle. Which, by the way, hurts.
Cane from the flea market, huh? I don't know if I would trust that. Not only because I don't know whose grubby little hands have been all over it, but also if it's too short, then I'm screwed.
Yeah, one time I ordered one from the NFB, and it was, like, way too tall for me, and it kept poking me in the eye.
So, they measure differently than Ambitech. NFB tends to measure from your chin or from your nose to your toes, where Ambitech measures from your armpit or your collarbone, which are in the same general area, so it doesn't really matter which one you use.
Yeah. I don't want it up in my face. That's a problem.
Well, so the way you've got it now is it should be to your collarbone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect.
Because you just go based off of your height and then,
Yeah.
I was slightly concerned that I didn't get the right tip for you because you were like, oh, it's like a weapon. I was like, okay, how am I supposed to know by the description on this website which of these tips feels like a weapon? Because I knew it wasn't a marshmallow. I didn't realize your distaste
The blind
for the
gamer in
marshmallow
technologies,
tip,
one of my classmates punched his little 5-year-old brother in the head, and I was like, you are stupid.
I forget what it's called now. I'll have to look back at it if you ever needed a replacement. But they last a while if you keep them in good shape. But I figured, I was like, I'll just go with whatever. I know it's not a pencil tip. I know it's not the weird Dakota one because that's like a frisbee looking one that you take in the snow and hiking and stuff. And I know you're not doing any of that.
No.
Hiking for the blind is like dangerous, by the way.
Hiking for anybody is dangerous, but
well, yeah, but especially for us because we don't, have. Well, there we go, spelling again.
No, that was my phone. Okay, what? Reading Rainbow, shut up. I'm not answering the
blind
phone
gamer
right
in
now.
technologies, but the good thing is he did not damage his 3-year-old sister. She is so darn cute.
Everyone?
Yeah, that's my default.
I didn't know if you had special ringtones for certain people.
I do, but that one's just my default.
Scam call?
Probably. Nobody important ever calls me. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
But I never know when you're busy.
It's just like nobody ever... Unless it's like to confirm a doctor's appointment or something, which I don't have until like a week from Wednesday. Next Wednesday, nobody ever calls me.
blind gamer in technologies. Oh, do you have WhatsApp?
I do. I don't know if it's signed in right now, but I do have it.
I downloaded WhatsApp for one thing and one thing only, and it was to get a verification
Silver chain,
code
yeah.
for Facebook.
I would tell you where I got it from at the flea
Because
market, but the answer
reason,
might shock you.
They have attached the two things together, and I'm like, okay, how do you know that because they have my phone number to get into my Facebook, which is great. Like, I don't really care about that. But when it comes to the WhatsApp, they were like, we've sent a verification code to your phone number through WhatsApp. And I went to WhatsApp and hit log in and type my phone number, and they're like, this account doesn't exist. I'm like, I figured as much because I don't have an account. So I had to go through the trouble of creating one and then receiving the code and then deleting the account, all to change my password.
Yeah, that's dumb. I had to have WhatsApp for the first radio station I was with. They did a staff WhatsApp group, and the community thing was on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm with now, we use Telegram.
Nothing shocks me. Where did you get it at the flea market?
But yeah, I like to have a tip that's got a little bit more, like space to it. That way it doesn't get stuck on cracks as easily.
The marshmallow doesn't get stuck too often, especially when it's brand new.
Oh, mine did.
And it's... Oh, I remember
Silver
what yours
chain.
is called now.
I still have WhatsApp,
Jumbo
surprisingly.
something.
I'm supposed to delete it because I was getting sick of whoever it was that was blowing up my phone.
What is your phone spewing on about murder for? I just noticed that. I know it's your Telegram thing, but I'm like, what is it?
It's an anime thing.
I don't do anime.
My sister got me into it. It's hard to get into, though, because there's precisely one that has audio description, and even that's incomplete.
Yeah. I think the only ones I've ever seen are, I think it was Dragon Ball Z Kai and Inuyasha, but I never really understood any of them.
Yeah, my sister is into. Her favorite is Demon Slayer, and that's the one that has the audio description.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, that one's good.
Is it?
Yeah. And then there's Death Note, which is interesting.
Do you two still run that Etsy shop?
Silver Chain, talking of murder,
like,
do you want to tell her
stuff?
about that one time when Stardew Valley said kill Leo?
It's still open, but we don't really have a lot of stuff up there because our listing's expired. To answer your question, I mean, the clip is available on my channel. And by the way, speaking of that clip, it recently, now that I've been playing some more on my own and have unlocked some more stuff on, a different save, that clip has taken a whole new
Alex
and darker
Chapman,
meaning.
G4PTV, speaking of WhatsApp, I use it all the time along with Telegram.
I don't think
they
it
are
was
both good
actually
apps.
saying to kill Leo. I think that was just
Lance,
a name
I don't do
of
anime either.
One of the suggested names of one of the characters.
Yeah, it was.
Because they're all of a different descent.
It was, but it was just like a random name it was suggesting for the horse, but the way it was pronounced and knowing what I know now about the game.
Well, what? Did you posted something on the community tab that you were going to tell us all what was so funny about it?
Oh, yeah. Once you unlock Ginger Island and get to the eastern half of the island and make friends with the parrots, there is actually an NPC named Leo.
Oh my god.
So that clip just got a whole heck of a lot funnier and a whole heck of a lot darker.
Yeah.
Like, what did Leo do to that poor horse? Does the horse, have a vendetta? At least the stupid apricot tree finally grew.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my god, that thing made me so mad!
I know. I joined your stream and all I hear is, I don't care about the stupid apricot tree!
Yeah,
Alex Chapman, G4PTV, speaking of WhatsApp, I use it all the time along with Telegram. They are both good apps.
Yeah,
Lance, I don't do anime either.
Yeah, I think both of you literally just said that, so unless the chat reader is, sending the same thing twice.
What?
Silver Chain, wait, you said there was no Leo in the game. It's surprising that there's actually an NPC, lol.
Well, when I said that, I didn't know there was...
Joshua Schramm, I use Telegram for the blind Android users group and other groups I am in.
Yeah,
Blind Gamer and Technologies, I don't give a crap about the stupid apricot tree. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, when I said that, I had never unlocked Ginger Island, so I did not know that there was an NPC named Leo in the game. I did not find out about it until I got into Ginger Island on my private save. Because as much as I love that game, if you people think I'm only going to play it twice a week, no offense, but you're all kind of crazy. And I did figure out the community center, so if you guys would like at some point, I can start a new save, play it on my own until we unlock the community center, and then show you how that works.
The time is 3:30 p.m.
Yes, thank you, clock. We know what time it is.
Blind Gamer and Technologies, oh I should do a random stream in bed or something like that. Nightbot, want all my goodies, go to http://evilcookies.jc-hosting.me.
Yes, I do.
Silver
have
Chain,
YouTube,
also,
but
a question I was about to ask was, does this girl also have a YouTube channel?
Because it won't let you comment or do anything without one. And I have 18 subscribers, but they're all, a lot of them have filtered from over here because people some people who have been around for a long time, as long as we've been together, knew that we, were together and sort of just supported both of us.
Yeah.
6 years, by the way.
Right?
long time. Sunday.
Yep.
Would have done the stream Sunday, but I've got other obligations. I'm going home for Thanksgiving, so I am not available to do it Sunday. Otherwise, she would have just done Stardew for the next 2 days and then done it on Sunday. But
well,
yeah.
we're flexible. We can easily
Lance,
shift
the chat reader
schedules.
is double dipping.
Yeah.
Well, tell the chat reader that double dipping spreads germs. Like I have a right to talk. Like if I have my
I
own,
was gonna say.
if I have my own like individual salsa cup, or like if I'm the only one using the dip, like if it's on my plate or something like that, if you think I'm only gonna get one bite covered in whatever awesomeness I have, you're crazy.
Oh no, if that, and I've learned to portion it out. So if I'm getting like, so I tend to go more for the like French onion dip and stuff like that.
Lance, I always
there
thought
are
she
some
should do more than
nasty
she
ones.
does.
I have had one that was terrible. So like if I portion it out and it's just mine and I get a bite of just a chip that I know that I have dipped and I just haven't managed to get any, I'll do it twice. But if it's communal, I won't. I don't care for salsa because the texture of all the little veggies in there drives me nuts. The flavor and the smell are great, but the texture is weird. Same with queso, especially the quesos that have like jalapenos and stuff in them. I love the flavor, but the little pieces of whatever's in there drives me bonkers because it's supposed to be smooth, not clumpy.
I can understand how that would bother somebody. It doesn't bother me personally, but I definitely see how it could.
Half the little things at the bottom of the queso jar I end up just like mashing with a spoon until I think they're like satisfactory, and then I still end up eating one by accident. But I've discovered like the Frito cheese dip. That's a good consistency. I like that. Doesn't have the same flavor though.
Yeah.
And if you make queso yourself with salsa verde, cubed American
Who
cheese,
blind gamer and
Rotel,
technologies.
and
Oh, I think I can at sleep
hate
night because I
tomatoes.
slept for 4 hours and I do not feel
But when they
tired
blend
because it
into
is
the
evening
thing,
here.
it's not too bad. If you make it yourself and you let it sit for 2 seconds after being served, it ends up getting like not hard, but like to a point where you have to really poke your chip in there to get anything off of it because it like starts to solidify.
Yeah. May as well be trying to eat paper mache for all the effort you have to do.
Exactly. And but yeah, I can't. Tomatoes are gross to me. Like I've had my nana started making this dish for me with, it's got Brussels sprouts, ground beef, red peppers, and diced tomatoes. The tomato sauce adds a good flavor, but the pieces of tomato themselves I can't stand. And the peppers are, I think she cuts them too big, but that's just me. She hyperfixates on vegetables that I like and makes them constantly. I'm like, woman, I'm going to be sick of these things by the time I leave because it's all you made me eat.
Yeah, I sometimes have the opposite problem. People get stuff that they know like half the house doesn't like and then expect us to eat it anyway.
Well, if somebody gets something for themselves and eats it themselves, and even if they know that nobody in the house likes it, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But
like,
we had
if you want to eat it, you be my
in the
guest.
house where like they would buy stuff and they would say it was for everybody, and then if somebody ate it, they were like, "Oh, that was mine." I'm like, I didn't see a name.
That's basically what I tell people. If you're saving it, I need to know, because if I don't know who it belongs to,
let me know that it's yours, and I won't touch it.
Yeah,
but if it's just there for the taking, I'm gonna take.
If I know who it belongs to, I won't mess with it. If it's left sitting in the fridge,
Lance can't stand tomatoes.
Or in the pantry or on the counter, and somebody hasn't said, "Hey, this is mine," I'm going to touch it.
Yeah.
Or if you get like half a Subway sandwich and you leave it for like 2 days and have no intention of touching it, I'm going to take it.
Yeah. Maybe heat it up a little bit so it's not so rock hard. Because their bread gets nasty after a while.
Like, is it really that hard to communicate what is yours?
Yeah. Until they go into a fit of rage, like, that was mine. It's like, you didn't say anything.
Right? Like, hello?
Yeah, someone put in the chat, hold on. I always thought she should do more than she does. Who are you talking about? I assume me, but I just want to clarify. As for sleeping for 4 hours and not being tired, I do that all the time, so you're not alone. But if you're struggling with your sleep,
Silver Chain, I am a
talk to
picky
your
eater
doctor.
myself.
It's like the best
I
thing
can't
you can
stand
do, 'cause
vegetables in
if you look
general.
stuff
I
up
enjoy
online,
everything
it's
that's
gonna,
all meat.
you know,
Pause.
Googling your symptoms, they're going to tell you have cancer.
Yeah, don't do that. I will speak to you from very recent experience about what happens to you when you Google stuff. And then you start reading too much into it.
Yeah.
I can tell you from very recent experience that it will ruin your life. I mean, you guys saw what happened to me. It was no fun around here for like 2 whole months. Even I acknowledge it was no fun, so I can only imagine how you guys felt.
He said pause. He said, I'm a picky eater myself. Can't stand vegetables in general. I enjoy everything that's all meat. And then said pause. I understand why. Pause is something you would typically say if you were about to make a dirty joke.
Gotcha.
Just for context. And saying, yeah, now you get it.
Yeah.
Took you a minute, but now you got it.
Yeah. Well, I've actually started loosening up a lot on the jokes that I will repeat now. Like, if I see one on Mastodon or something and it's funny, I'm gonna tell it.
Lance, you assume correctly.
Yeah, you used to be very particular about, you weren't a fan of dirty jokes, you weren't a fan of swearing, you weren't a fan of a lot, and over the last 2 years, I'd say, you've definitely loosened up, and it's so funny because every time I hear you swear, I'm like, did she just say?
Yeah, like,
because I'm not used to it.
You don't want to hear me when I get mad. You really don't.
Well, I've heard, and your phone decided to have 6 asterisk signs after it.
Yeah, my phone thinks it's cool to censor me, and it's like just not.
Yeah. That's why I acronym. I'll say, you know, BS instead of that.
Yeah.
So. Because there's certain things that you're trying to describe, and there's only so far that bullcrap goes.
Yeah.
Because that's just like a gentle way of like, I don't really like that. But if you go all the way, then the other person knows that you are not a fan of whatever around.
Silver Chain, oh my god, that would be my reaction too. And anytime I hear her say words like shit or ass, I would be like, wow, gosh, did Cookie just swear?
There's just some times where you just need to, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silver Chain, same here.
Yeah, that's like the last time YouTube did something to make me mad. I posted on Mastodon. I'm not going to repeat exactly what I posted just because we may have some younger people here, but I basically told my entire Mastodon feed that YouTube could go do things to themselves in the rear with a hot poker.
Wow.
They made me that mad. But yeah, that file name, I still cannot get over. I actually had to use that again the other day because my SMAPI needed to be updated. And if you install it by hand, it's a royal pain if you're not using like Steam or something that it can easily find a path to.
Silver Chain, freaking savage.
Yeah. They earned it by flagging me for restarting the computer. I mean, come on. What's next? They're gonna hit me with a copyright strike because I have to sneeze? Oh, that reminds me, I need to change the batteries in my air freshener. That probably sounded a lot weirder than it was meant to.
It was just
Who blind gamer and technologies, ouch, my brother almost killed me because I exceedingly scared a freak out of him and he was like ran at me and hutting. Joshua Schramm, yeah, I saw that. Who blind
not
gamer
what
and
I was
technologies,
expecting. I was
hitting me
like,
like an idiot.
yeah, by
Lance,
the way,
LOL
we're gonna tell
YouTube has been a
YouTube
bad
to go
influence on her.
F themselves with a hot poker. And also, I need to change the batteries in my air freshener. Like, how unrelated could you possibly get?
Well, my air freshener just went off like it was trying to spray air freshener into the room, but it can't because the batteries are low.
Who blind gamer and technologies, so my head really hurts now. Ouch.
Please don't damage yourself.
There's a leaf outside the window and they want everyone to know.
Apparently.
Who blind gamer and technologies, I see my brother damaged me.
Well, don't damage yourself or anyone else or let anyone else damage you. Let's just cover all of our bases here. Well, I mean, there are some people I'll give you full permission to go damage, but they're not here. And if they were, I would instantly ban them just for being here because they're horrid people.
Silver chain, I swear, every time I hear the F word I swear it always takes me back to that one particular time where I tried to guess Cookie's name. Damn the golden time.
I know, right? Like, that was just so priceless it had to be clipped. I think I'm going to name my next BitLife character that. Last name you. Just...
Oh my god.
Just because I can. And because
It'd
it would
be funny because it'd be F you and then they marry if they offered middle names.
Who blind gamer and technologies, oh my freaking god.
First name
Joshua
sucks, middle name
Shram, do
my,
tell.
last name
I can
you
go
know
damage
exactly
people
where
for you,
I'm going.
LOL.
They get married. I don't say that often either because
yeah.
I think it's vulgar. That's even too vulgar for me. But yeah.
Or if you do like the
Silver
hyphenated
chain,
name,
also. What I noticed also is while we was laughing, Julia Kate typed in the comments like, who's going through an identity crisis now, Bridget?
yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Yes, the identity crisis.
Oh my god.
Because I said hello, and then I was during the hold music, and she was like, well, here's a very special hello to someone in chat. And you know who you are, except if you don't, then maybe you should go figure out who you are and, get rid of this identity crisis. And then when
me being a smart aleck.
When you were going through the names, and someone thought your name was Bridget, then I definitely said, who is going through an identity crisis now? Yes,
right?
that was me.
Yeah, that was funny.
Who blind gamer and technologies, oh
Silver,
I named one of my characters in Psycho Strike Damage Taker or something like that.
Said, typed in the comments is me.
Yeah.
Just clarifying.
Yeah.
Like, just in case. We're putting a voice to the name now.
Yes, we are.
I remember one stream, just speaking of like funny comments that people have made on your streams, you were doing the 48 Hours of Chaos. It was like part 2 of it, I think. You ended up splitting it into 4 parts that were like 8 hours each.
Yeah, because like this chair was not being
your back
couldn't
tolerate sitting that long. I couldn't either. My rear arm would be numb.
3:45 p.m.
You had gone out of the room to get something to eat and a drink of water, and you came back and your microphone, listen to me, microwave is at the door, and you ran into it because you didn't realize that was the place.
Who blind gamer and technologies, not in real life.
There, because it had just gotten out of storage or something.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Hey, stupid! There's a microwave there," and someone put in the comment. I would just like to point out that the first thing I heard when you came back into the room was, "Hey, stupid! There's a microwave." And I was just dying laughing. I was like, "That's the first thing I heard too." Like you were finishing having a conversation.
Who blind
with your
gamer
mom
and
or your sister or
technologies,
something,
looks
and
the
then you,
chat
like,
reader
walked
did
back
not
in and you
read
were
that.
like, "Ow! Hey, stupid! There's a microwave there." I was like, "Oh my god."
Battery has been full charge. Energy overload detected. Taking over the world in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, that going off just reminded me when we were in Utah, I scared the crap out of somebody with that automation on my phone.
The notification one?
No, the thing where my battery gets charged. It speaks to me when the battery is fully charged. It says what it just said.
I didn't catch it. That's why I heard it talking, but I didn't know what it was
Silver
saying.
Chain, wait, I'm confused. Which 48 hours of chaos was it?
I think it was part 2. I think she's right about that. I think it was part 2. It was one of the earlier parts, because, yeah, we did have to split it up over several weekends. Originally, the plan was to go 48 hours continuous.
Which I don't know how you would do that, because your spine and also your brain.
Yeah, I mean,
Lance, it has been a voice I've missed.
Liam's last marathon, I stayed up for like 50 hours. Like, oh my god, that marathon was amazing, but by the time we finally got to go to bed, I was just so done.
You could have gone to bed anytime you want and watched the archives. You didn't have to stay up. That was your choice.
I could have, yes, but when each stream was like 9 hours long, would you want to have to scroll through it minute by minute and find where you left off?
I had to do it with yours.
I mean, if you had the choice and did not want to have to, scroll, and it was like a 9
Well, then if I had the choice, no. Then I would have just let it play in the background. Plus, if you don't watch it while it's happening, if you win a prize, you miss it.
Well, you do sort of miss it, but you get emailed, so.
Yeah, I just thought of that as soon as I said it. I was like, oh wait, he probably emails you.
Yeah, he emails you.
Speaking of winning prizes, did you ever get contacted by that one lady about the mini Bop It thing you were getting?
It's gonna take a little while. She said she's not gonna be able to ship them out until December because she's customizing them or doing something to so you can wear them on your wrist, and I think she got the wrong Velcro or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and she said money's a little snug, so it's gonna take a little while, which is perfectly understandable. The fact that I entered
The
that
blind
contest,
gamer and technologies, the chat reader is not reading anything, no links but happenings.
Huh. The fact that I entered that contest 2 hours before it closed.
And still won.
Yeah.
Which either means the algorithm was rigged or not many people entered.
Well, not even that. It was okay, basically here's what the contest was. She published it, on YouTube. She's got a video about it, so I'm sure it's not a big deal if I talk about it. So, each different Bop It, they have these little dots that they either paint on them or they're embossed or something like that. And the objective was to guess how many were in total across all different versions. From the...
Well, you would have gotten closest to win.
Not necessarily, because a lot of them are painted and you can't feel them. So...
Could have cheated and had somebody cited counting them for you.
Yeah, but considering that the actual number was over 1,900, I think somebody would have hurt me if I'd done that. She awarded the top 3. I was in second place.
Sweet.
I didn't have a clue, so I just guessed some random number. I don't even remember what it was now. But yeah, when I got my newest one over here, I know she was big into that stuff, so I sent her a picture. I'm like, hey, look what I
got! Silver Chain, Juliet, you can't cheat in a contest, sweetheart. Just clarify. And even if you tried, they would go off on you. Like pop off LOL.
Only if they found out, but seriously, in a contest like that, it wouldn't even be worth it. Because, I mean, who wants to sit there and count 1,912 little marks? Who would do that?
That chat was funny.
Yeah, good thing she didn't include all the sister products too, or I might have had to cry in a corner because I only have one of those so far. I'm hoping to get, like, Zing It, Top It, Groove It, stuff like that. I'm hoping to put it on my Christmas list. But I don't know how that's
Who
gonna
blind
work.
gamer and technologies. Oh, yesterday in bed when I was laughing really hard my trout started to hurt because I almost exploded from that story lol.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Love how someone put my name in the chat as Juliet.
Oops.
I would assume dictation error.
Well, my name is not Romeo, so.
Oh, for shame.
Well, you know, everybody always says they want a story like Romeo and Juliet. I think I'll pass, considering the way.
I would like to stay alive.
Yeah, considering the way their story blew up in both of their faces.
And the fact that Shakespearean English is, like, terrible to understand.
Oh, God. The fact that I read that stuff for fun genuinely baffles people.
I had to use Spark Notes to get through
Who blind gamer and
freshman year
technologies,
English.
from laughing like an idiot and almost exploded like a balloon, boom lol.
Maybe it was sophomore year, I don't know, but it was miserable. No, sophomore year was the one that we read about the brothel. That's terrible.
Oh gosh. My friend, in case you are not aware, you are not a balloon, so please do not explode. But yeah, Midsummer Night's Dream is like one of my favorites. Thanks to, of all things, a Magic Treehouse book mentioning it, and then I read it just because, and now I've read it like 6 times. I actually happen to have most of that series on an SD card over there just because I can, and if anyone tries to tell me I'm too old for it, I'll hit them with the book reader. Except I won't.
She's one of the best narrators.
I know!
And when I say that, I mean, like, narrators, and also she's the author. Like,
Silver
you don't
chain,
get
damn dictation error lol. I said Julia, not Juliet. Cookie's real name is not Romeo lol.
But, like, there's other good ones. Jim Dale was really good in Harry Potter.
I could never get into Harry Potter itself. I just couldn't get interested.
I'm not, like, a huge nerd like a lot of people. No offense to, like, anybody who is, but, like, I'm not a huge nerd about Harry Potter. I just like the series and the movies. The movies
Who blind gamer
were
and
kind of boring 'cause
technologies,
they didn't have audio
when I am
description. They were,
laughing like an
2 hours
idiot
long
and something
each.
is
I was
really
like, I don't have the
funny I am
attention span
always
for that.
feeling like I am going to go boom boom lol
and
ha ha
then
ha 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 soy soy soy.
The guy that narrates The Maze Runner, which I only got through one
I haven't read those
books.
yet. I need to, though.
Yeah, the first one was good. The Hunger Games narrator is good.
Which one?
Thought there was only one.
No, they've redone the audiobooks recently.
Then the original.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
The girl, I don't know who do they have a girl for the new ones too?
Yeah.
Then yeah, the first one.
Yeah. What on the topic of the Hunger Games though, what's funny is that the guy who narrates the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is the guy who played Hans in Frozen.
Wow, is it really?
Yes.
I would read that just for him. Like, he's awesome.
And like every time he
as a
opens
character,
his
he's
mouth,
terrible. But...
that's all I can hear.
Yes, I would do the same thing, and I would not be able to see.
Who blind gamer and technologies, lol. I want to record that at some point if I
just
want
like,
to see me laughing and boom boom haha lol xd haha soy soy soy.
And it's about this like girl who something happened to her mom. I think she died. That sounds so bad when I just said it like just casually. It's like she just died. But anyway, without like spoiling the entire movie, I'll just get to the point. You can watch it yourself if you want. It's really good. Philippa Sue is in it, and I heard her, and I was like, I have to listen to the cast.
Joshua Schramm, oh God.
That is who I think it is. So I'm like, that sounds like Eliza Schuyler.
Yes.
That can't be like who I'm thinking it is. There's no possible way. And then I got to the cast list and it said Philippa Sue. I was like, oh my God, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think I was more impressed by the fact that I could recognize her as opposed to like her being in it.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was into probably the biggest walking cliche ever.
Silver chain, why did she say it so casually? Like geez, but seriously, rip to her mother.
Yeah, But when I was younger, I was stupid into Twilight, and like looking back on it now, I don't understand why.
I don't understand why people are into it. I have never
Who blind
been,
gamer and
but I know people who
technologies. Oh,
are,
did you know that Alexa can work
and
with Audible
I don't get
Stories?
it.
Just say Alexa, open Audible Stories and she will open it and you can use it.
Cool. But the only reason I keep the Twilight books around is for the narrator, because I cannot find anything else that she has done, like, anywhere that I have access to, and it is maddening because she's amazing. I'm reading the newest one now only because I hadn't read it before. It basically, she's just rewrote the entire
Who
first
blind
book
gamer and
from
technologies
Edward's
if you use
perspective.
Audible.
But yeah, I was definitely, when I was younger, I was part of the whole Team Jacob versus Team Edward debate. Spoiler alert, I was firmly Team Edward. Now I'm Team they're both weirds and Bella should have stayed single.
Yes, Harley, I know you have an internal clock built into your body that tells you that it's 5 minutes too early for you to be eating, but I'm going to feed you anyway so that you don't have to pace. And your food stinks, by the way. This nasty, like, whatever they've got him on, this new diet for his kidneys, just stinks. The high heaven is terrible.
Like,
now, dog food in general doesn't smell very good, but, like, this is next level nasty.
Ugh. Like, that whole situation with Stranger Things, the whole Steve versus Jonathan thing, brings me back to Twilight. Speaking of which, for those of you who aren't on my Mastodon, let me tell you the newest one, Twilight Marijuana Edition. Edward and Bella smoke a joint. Edward gets the munchies. No more Bella. The end.
Who blind gamer and technologies. Oh, how did you made it that intro for your streams? Because I want to add a music to, but I don't know how to do that. Can you help?
Like a vampire type of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that would explain, because he ate her.
Yeah, Edward's a vampire, Jacob's a werewolf. Everyone's insane. Because, like,
everyone's insane.
You've got all this supernatural stuff happening right under your nose and nobody is even slightly clued in.
Yeah.
And Bella has this all-consuming obsession after meeting
Silver Chain,
Edward
I saw that on Mastodon. Literally had me dying laughing.
Yeah, and Bella has this all-consuming obsession after meeting Edward with getting turned into a vampire. And it's just like the weirdest thing ever. Like, sorry, but I'm not going to change species for my boyfriend. Especially if my boyfriend is a creep who hangs outside my window watching me sleep every night. That's a straight up deal breaker. If you are spying on me and I don't know you're there, I'm cutting you off.
It said 5, I think.
Yeah, it did.
That's way too late.
Mr. Clock, would you please get your stupid signal?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Yes, it would. Hey, I'm telling you something. This is not only going to entertain people, but our watch hours are going to shoot up because we've been here for like almost 4 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, what's so special about Super Chat that everybody's so hyped about?
4 p.m.
They don't have to jump through hoops if they want to send money over. They click the Super Chat button, they pick how much they want to send, they type the message, they hit send, bam.
Nifty.
Whereas with something like Streamlabs, you can do kind of the same thing. You put in your amount, you put in your
Nightbot,
message.
want all my goodies? Go to http://evilcookies.jc-hosting.me.
To be a pain, and sometimes Streamlabs doesn't want to work. Which reminds me, guys, I am thinking about changing our Streamlabs donation sound to something that would scare the crap out of us a little bit more than just, an angry dragon. Although that is very effective. But the whole point of those donation sounds, I think, is to cause you to jump out of your chair. Because everybody that I've seen that uses it, they've got something like really, really loud that, yeah. I was thinking maybe we'd use the apricot clip.
What, you screaming, I don't give a crap about the apricot tree!
Yeah, that
that's
one.
Obnoxious. I thought you were talking about your screen reader going, your apricot tree hasn't grown.
No, that was...
Silver chain, oh no. Change the donation sound to something more casual. I don't want to get scared and end up screaming like a bitch, so there you go.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of the donation sound, is to scare the crap out of the streamer.
You just use the daily double, always works for me.
Copyright strike.
Damn, I forgot about that. And yet, people are allowed to post samples of the Daily Double on YouTube.
And yet,
that I could then download as an MP3 and keep for myself.
And yet, if I restart my computer, I get flagged. Because logic. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this off pretty soon because if I don't get out of this chair, I'm going to end up with a metal rod instead of a spine.
Yeah, if I don't go out of this chair, I'm gonna end up pissing myself.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to wind this
Silver
thing
chain,
down.
I mean if you want to put the donation sound to something that literally scares us, that's fine. I mean I don't wear headphones while watching streams anyway, so you got a point.
Yeah, if you're not wearing headphones, you should be fine. It won't startle you as bad. Honestly, I'm surprised that nobody clipped that thing when I was speedrunning Manamon 2 and Hatharillion made me scream like a little girl. Because, like, I knew it was coming up, but I didn't realize how close we were, and I'm like, we're getting to Hatharillion here in a minute, and then, like, I take 2 steps, and here it comes, and I'm just, like, screaming like a little girl. But, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. We will be back here on Sunday. Keep an eye out for the poll I'm going to be posting in the community tab later.
OBS 3. Phone link call. VE2. Live chat dial.
So,
warning.
Until then, you guys behave yourselves. Don't go to prison. I can't come bail you out. You're in, different locations. Don't delete...
No promises.
Yeah. Don't delete your NV data, because that's bad. And, don't...
Joshua Schramm, I am wearing headphones though, fuck lol. Who blind gamer and technologies, and please don't forget on Drive.
Okay, as soon as I actually remember to download it, because my Mastodon that it was sent to is not on my computer. Also, if you have Stardew Valley, don't glitch yourself to the summit. I don't want that jerk of an NPC pushing you off. Oh, and by the way, I did make a song about that from Suno.
Chat reading was ended.
So, until then,
volume.
As always, behave. I will see you
Audio
back here
mixer.
on Sunday.
Sources. Scene. Duration.
And don't blow up the
Add
planet.
configurable. Controls window. No end.